drugs. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
First match, Broly? Not good.
I've arrived. At last.
Please, save me!
You found a power key.
You
Go
have my
flaunt it.
thanks.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Flying Nimbus!
That's good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you would, Terrence. You got the best cues.
Welcome. Thank you.
Fortunately,
Flying
down.
Nimbus!
I'm saving you if I can.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome.
Someone else got you.
Great. You know what to do with that key.
Got lucky. Gonna head to see. You log on over here. Find 3 more keys.
Welcome.
I think I'm in trouble.
An ally needs your help. You don't know what danger awaits. Think
Well, worked
before
out.
rushing in.
Take the ball, man. I'm gonna plant that BQ. Planting that EQ.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
I've a...
Hey, great. You found another power key. Use it quick.
Good job, man. Broly's at level 3, unfortunately.
Flying Nimbus!
swear it hurts to do it.
Someone save me! You be careful too, okay?
Welcome. Oh,
Beat that person. Okay, so we have to find this A key now.
Flying Nimbus!
That's a new power key. Place it now.
Someone found it.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Oh, man.
Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. An ally needs your help.
Pretty sure these guys
You
set
don't
this
know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
set it to 99%. I should save that person.
Flying Nimbus!
Open up this key real quick. Start the battle. I think there's Dragon Balls in A as well.
The startup system for the super time machine is ready. Head there now.
I don't know if Broly picked it up. Yeah, I think he did.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
You know.
I'll send some supplies to help. Make good use of them.
Flying Nimbus!
I sent you a super transfer. Use it to hold the enemy back.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
Guy's going out of his way to come get me. Well, I'm gone. On, no one's on a time machine. I got that transfer. The soda by the time machine. You did good, bro. Yeah, exactly, at least you tried. Where's this guy?
Oh, give it a try.
An ally needs your help. You don't know
Bro, I swear I died.
You're done!
This and everything. Man,
The startup system is under attack. Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need to. Got it? The startup system's under attack. It's dangerous. Tread carefully.
I'm not going down there.
The startup system's destroyed. The escape time machine's almost present. You need to restore the beacon that's indicated by a blue light.
Okay. I don't think these guys are gonna save me. Well, I tried too, man. Oh, she wasn't enough.
It's me.
Lie down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. I've sent the escape time machine. Use it to get out of there.
If you'd only chosen death, you could
I'm gonna go check what my rank is. Hold on.
It's nigh.
I think my highest is Frieza. I don't think I'm in the top 100 for Survivor. Too many randoms. Ranked 92. No cool money? Yeah, bro. Title says you have to make it in top 100. In Survivor, I'm ranked 150. The score is 6,550. So we're not in the top 100 yet in Survivors, but we're top 100 for Raiders. That's good. They put back on the manga.
Of soldiers would render their ship immobile within minutes of arriving. The ruthless Frost Demon slaughtered all on his way in his search for immortality. Dodoria and Zarbon, his right-hand men, were even more powerful than Vegeta. And as for Frieza himself, he was indescribably worse. But finally healed, thanks to some timely grown senzu beans, Goku dashed into space, but wouldn't arrive for another 6 days. Meanwhile, Gohan and Krillin had already blown their cover in order to save the life of a Namekian child,
Yeah, man.
barely
Try to get
escaping
in
the
top
mighty
100
Dodoria
before
alive,
the end of
who believed he had
the
put
season.
an end to the pair. Dende, their new native friend, gave his trust to these visitors. But trouble soon came sprinting back, as Frieza demanded his underling present him with the bodies of the Earthlings. As Krillin and Bulma discuss, there are only 2 places left that possess their Dragon Ball. The former knows he has to warn them of the evil to come. Dende then mentions he must go see the Grand Elder. It may be very far away from here, but he has no choice, causing Gohan to accompany the child. In the last village, the Elder can sense Krillin's pure intentions. But spying on him, one of Frieza's men, who plans to alert his lord immediately. But quickly feeling his presence, our hero spots him in the sky. Confused how he was seen, he takes off, knowing there are too many for him to handle in a fight. But he doesn't flee fast enough. Capturing and restraining their guest, Krillin notes how lucky they are, as this guy is just one of the weak ones. But Apul doesn't let this deter his confidence, vowing Frieza will destroy them all. Ignoring him, Krillin notes the remaining 3 are much stronger than he and Gohan, and if this low-level warrior found the village, the others probably won't be far behind. Making his way back to the spot where he believed the Earthlings to have perished,
I haven't seen Cool Money at all.
Dodoria resorts
Have you seen
to
him?
even searching underwater to find
Him
him.
and his team? They're not in the rankings.
Bearing no trace, he figures they surely escaped after all. But without at least one
Unless
of the
they
pair,
changed their
he
names.
knows Frieza will have his head, deciding to scour the globe endlessly at maximum speed. On their way to Guru, Gohan questions if they're getting close, but it will actually be quite a while until they arrive, so he suggests they take a short break, ironically enough, mentioning it's not like anyone is looking for them. As the hours passed, Dodoria continued his searching, and after their rest, the boys quickly approached the Grand Elder, but would soon be found, as Frieza's underling spots him. Though struggling to catch his breath, he promises this is where they die.
Nail! I sense something outside. Go and see.
Shouting for Dende to run while he slows them down. Nail arrives to shield both the children. Frustrated, Dodoria demands to know who this is now, before stating it doesn't matter, as he's just going to die like the rest of them. Dende calling out to his hero, explaining this is one of the evil invaders that killed everyone in his village, while Gohan can't help but notice the parallels between this man and Piccolo. One-shotting him, Nail puts a quick end to the skirmish. With a giant grin, the little Saiyan gets excited to see how strong this guy is, his friend explaining how Nail here is the personal guard of the Grand Elder and the strongest warrior on the planet. Though at first, appearing a bit cautious of the Earthling, he ushers them both to follow him, as the Grand Elder awaits them. Back with Bulma, Krillin brings in their first Namekian Dragon Ball, while the very anime-eyed scientist tries to think of a plan. With the capture of the soldier in the village, that means there should only be 3 bad guys left. Cutting her off, a mentally defeated Krillin argues, with the terrifying power their enemies possess, the only safe option is to wait for Goku to arrive, which is still 5 days away from now. With the Space Lord, he announces to Zarbon his plan to call in the Ginyu Force, and much like Goku,
Well,
they
we're
too
7
will
out of
arrive
8.
in
It's
5
been
days,
4 minutes
and they'll
to
bring
see
new
how this
scouters
goes.
with them. Since Dodoria and Apul decided to go missing, he's going to need his other right-hand man to seek out the remaining villages, while Frieza himself stays alongside the Dragon Balls. With no argument, Zarbon agrees. With Gohan, the Grand Elder thanks him for saving Dende, as well as deducing he's an Earthling, before going on about how terrible all of this is. The Dragon Balls were supposed to inspire prosperity and wisdom, not bring about the destruction of his children. Making a suggestion, if they will aid he and his friends in gathering the Dragon Balls, they will resurrect Piccolo, which will bring back their own dragon, and everyone can be saved. The name Piccolo coming to the curiosity of the great leader, placing his hand upon the boy's head. He reads his mind to see the history of the Earthlings, also taking this time to notice how immense Gohan's potential is, stating he will unlock it.
Hold on for a second, what?
Feeling power within himself like never before, Gohan questions if he could do this to Krillin too. taking off to retrieve his ally. But before leaving, Guru would tell his life, and by extension the Namekian Dragon Balls, will soon come to an end. So they'll need to hurry in this endeavor. Less than an hour later, Krillin senses Gohan approaching, but in disbelief at his new strength. Explaining everything from Nail to Guru, he insists he has to come get his potential unlocked too. But with his focus on that Nail fellow instead, Krillin thinks if they have a new powerful ally, then maybe. Stopping short, the pair sense an incredible strength nearby, as Zarbon has found the last village. Though the leader tries to usher him away, assuring there is no Dragon Ball here, the villain doesn't believe him for a second. Already seeing where this is going, Krillin goes to stop Gohan from doing anything rash, but the revitalized young warrior has a new sense of confidence. He thinks they have a chance to save the villagers. But arriving,
This story
they're
is a
already
side
too
story,
late,
a
as every
multiversal
one of
tournament.
them lie
We're
dead.
telling the backstories
Untying a pool,
of some of
the
the
soldier
people in the
immediately
tournament.
fills Zarbon in on the
So,
doings of Gohan and
this story
Krillin,
started off very
attacking
dynamic.
Dodoria, and most importantly, stating they took the ball. Chuckling to himself, Zarbon wonders if that idiot Dodoria is also tied up somewhere in a village like this.
Yeah, they're thinking that may be looking for the Dragon Balls, but all the
Knowing this isn't good, Apul goes to sneak off to warn Frieza. But Krillin doesn't let that happen, spouting to the invader.
This is
He
a
isn't as
different
nice as the
story.
Namekians.
There's so many stories in this.
And with
I
a
don't
sinister
remember.
gleam, Zarbon growls. This little brat here holds his own well. Seeing Gohan fall, Krillin knew this was more than they could handle, figuring here goes nothing. Using a scatter bullet, it fools the enemy, leading to a direct hit. But of course, this barely manages to ruffle his hair, though Zarbon admits he is getting irritated. Furious, Gohan demands to know how someone could do this to all these innocent people. Catching his breath, Krillin shouts for Gohan to come on. They need to leave now, but the child is set on finishing him. The other Earthling continues to argue that surely these guys are as indestructible as Vegeta, when Gohan reveals they're not. In fact, the pink one was killed with a single attack. Rising from his crater, Zarbon asks, Dodoria? Inquiring who managed to kill him. Effortlessly apprehending our heroes, their evil adversary assures he won't kill them right away, as he has a few questions first, wanting to know where both the Dragon Balls and Dodoria are. Saying aloud, he'll roughen them up a bit first, before bringing them to Lord Frieza. Continuing the events of Universe 8, with a hand at his throat, Krillin gasps for Zarbon to wait. He will reveal the location of their Dragon Ball. Despite Gohan's protest, he points behind himself,
Yeah, this one's very
slowly
interesting
muttering,
because it has a whole
"He
bunch of
gave it
different
to."
stories
Barking,
from
he
different
finished his
characters from
sentence.
different
The
timelines.
snaky fighter puts his fingers to his head,
What if scenarios?
hitting his foe point blank with a solar flare, momentarily stunning their captor. Krillin does what we've always wanted him to do, combining the previous technique with his Destructo Disc. But somehow pulls it to the right, only maiming his adversary. Still with enough strength to transform, Zarbon is obviously done trying to get information out of the Earthlings. And not missing, Frieza's underling believes the two of them are surely dead. Knowing he must return to the ship for medical attention, Gohan arises from the rubble. Though battered, he's set on keeping his word and finishing Zarbon here. Looking over to his friend, Zarbon seems to fall to the ground lifeless, pleading for his ally to say something. He can only mutter he's sorry, as he succumbs to his injuries. The next day, Bulma speeds to Guru's house with a still very injured Gohan in the back seat. Appearing to have arrived, Nail demands to know how she found him. She quickly explains she simply followed the signal of their Dragon Ball, but urging that's not important at the moment. Pleading Gohan needs care immediately. Walking over to his friend, Dende fixes him up in mere seconds, who shouts for Krillin upon jolting awake, though surprised to see how quickly the boy was healed. Bulma can only apologize to him, implying Krillin really is dead. Updating the Namekians on their encounter with Zarbon, Gohan firmly presses they need to gather the remainder of the Dragon Balls and revive their friends. but the remaining balls are with Frieza personally. Asking if she'd rather wait for his father to arrive, she actually has quite a different idea. By the time Goku gets here, surely Frieza will have called in for backup. Their mission isn't to kill him, it's simply to obtain the Dragon Balls. Currently, they still have the advantage in numbers, and he won't be able to keep an eye on all of them and watch the balls simultaneously. Nail understanding where she's coming from and agreeing, believing the time to act is now. At the Tyrant ship, Gohan notes he's in that vessel, and his power, it's just unreal. Questioning if Nail is really sure he can handle this, but he insists not to worry about him, urging the child he only focus on being completely discreet on his duty here. Blasting a couple holes in the ship, Nail shouts from the sky the demon below killed his family, and now it's the monster's time to die, promising he will regret bringing this slaughter onto his people. A bit nettled, this man up and decided to destroy his ship. Frieza barks back, it is the Namek who will die. During this commotion, Gohan takes the opportunity to sneak past the Emperor, who then warns Nail not to expect his death to be a quick one. As our hero creates a smokescreen in hopes of buying himself a little more time, Gohan finds the Dragon Balls at last. But the Namek's tactic was quickly saw past, Frieza demanding to know what he takes him for, taking shelter behind a giant boulder. The Space Lord is done playing around, swearing he will not escape.
Don't allow me waiting.
Remembering being told the Dragon Balls are quite durable, he punts them away. Bulma taking notice they've started moving on her radar. With only one left, Gohan decides to just take this last one by hand, as Bulma and Dende rush to recover the others. And while they're a bit scattered, they know they are now the only ones on the planet possessing the ability to track them. With Nail on his last leg, Frieza offers him a deal. He will allow him to live a little bit longer if he hands over the rest of the Dragon Balls. And foolishly, the warrior scoffs. He doesn't understand a thing, before catching himself and not revealing the plan. Fiercely scowling, the demon will never have his wish, as the Dragon Balls grant their power only to those truly deserving, to those who want to save their friends, not to a monster like him. Nail's body appearing to fall into a nearby lake. Frieza mutters to himself he'll have to call in for a replacement ship as well. And given the time that has passed, surely Zarbon is dead now too. Tracking down the others, Gohan proudly wields the 6-star ball above his head. Handing it over, he explains now he has to go back to help Nail. But grabbing him, Bulma barks if he doesn't follow the plan, she'll pulverize him herself, putting him back in line. But Dende assures him not to worry, as Nail is really strong, and he'll escape for sure. Bulma reinforcing that once they make their wish, everything will work out, and with only 3 left to gather, it shouldn't be too much longer. Testing out a ship, it can at least still fly, but the Tyrant can't get over the foolishness of that Namekian, wondering what he was thinking in such a hopeless and suicidal attack. Frustrated, these natives can't see a lost cause when it's right in front of them. Collecting yet another Dragon Ball. Frieza at last notices what has happened, and recovering the final one, it seems our heroes are in position to bring everyone back, rejoining the Grand Elder with Frieza's 5 Dragon Balls. The Emperor himself searches the planet at full speed for him, but Namek is an immensely large world. Guru calling upon Dende to summon Purunga. Noticing it suddenly becoming night for the first time, Frieza knows what this must mean, and the others have collected the orbs. Charging his death ball, he bellows they will all die if they think they can get away with this. Dende explaining, their dragon can only revive one person at a time. Bulma wonders what they can do, when Piccolo communicates telepathically through King Kai, noting if they bring him back, that will also revive Kami and Shenron, and with the Dragon Balls of the Earth, they can bring back everyone else with a single wish. Asking if Dende got all that, he goes to command it to Purunga. Gohan and Bulma elated to see their mission finally come full circle. Cackling, that'll teach you. Namek has become a barren wasteland. Still careening through space, Goku trains diligently. As he gets a terrible, ominous feeling, Piccolo shouts for King Kai to tell them what happened, who reveals, planet Namek has been devastated. Still chuckling at his work, Frieza acknowledges he may have gotten a bit reckless, but surely no one will be able to survive on this world now. Also noting, his ship was made to resist this kind of attack. Somehow, vowing to leave this planet, never wanting to hear of it again. As with our heroes, they have all been taken out by the blast. The Dragon Balls turned to stone with the passing of Guru. 4 days later, Goku would arrive, digging makeshift graves for the 4 of them. And without any Dragon Balls left in the universe, there isn't any hope in bringing anyone back. He then feels a faint power, resembling Piccolo, and if there's a surviving Namekian, maybe hope isn't completely lost. Heading to its location, he begins to dig. Fishing around, Goku can feel someone. King Kai astonished Nail survived, showing insane resilience after being buried for several days. Piccolo taking some pride in his heritage. Pulling him from the ground before gently lying him down. Lucky for Nail, Goku held on to a few senzu beans. Fully healed, Nail knows the Grand Elder would want him to forget all of this and move forward with his life. But on the inside, the Namek knows he can't do such a thing. He demands vengeance from the one who destroyed his people. Goku feels the same, wanting to make the one responsible pay for his crimes. After all, what's stopping him from doing something like this again? Maybe even to the Earth next time. King Kai butting in, presses Goku doesn't understand. Frieza isn't only 100-fold stronger than a Saiyan. He's pretty much invincible. And he hasn't even shown a fraction of his true power. If Goku were to face him, he will die. Pure and simple. But he argues back. Everyone he knows is already dead. He'd only be joining him. Same for Nail. Causing some random lady on Earth to let out a sneeze. Yamcha chiming in, deciding if Nail can't make new Dragon Balls, then they have very little to lose in chasing down Frieza. After all, even his son is in Otherworld now, offering his support to Goku. Taking off, he then announces if he's going to be staying in Otherworld, he's at least going to go and find Bulma. Before Piccolo puts in his 2 cents on the situation, elaborating, no one can deny Goku his vengeance. Recommending to King Kai, he flat out tell him where Frieza's planet is located. Though reluctant, Kaio-sama complies. And a few days later, a soldier below spots an unknown ship, warning they identify themselves or they'll be fired upon. But instead of shooting them out of the sky, they let the silent vessel land and send dozens of men to greet them, armed to the teeth. Emerging, Nail recognizes the soldier's armor as Frieza's. Goku adding the Saiyans wore that kind too. Shouting to the warriors, Goku explains they only want Frieza. If they let him through, no harm will come to anyone else. But we know that's not how the Frieza Force does things by now.
Back up! Back up!
Huge. What strength? I ended it quick in case more come.
You thought you were done with me?
Questioning which one of these guys are Frieza. Raccoon laughs in his face at the thought. If one of them were Frieza, he wouldn't have been able to land a single hit. Birder suggests Goku must have come here looking for a job or something, obviously not even considering someone would dare challenge his lord. Reiterating his previous statement, Goku remarks they really don't want to hurt either of them, just Frieza himself, causing Birder to spout there are only 2 ways they will ever lay eyes on their master, either tied at the hands and feet, or dead. When Nail chimes in, confidently uttering, that's too bad for them. The Ginyu amazed to see a Namekian, under the belief they were all dead. In a much more peaceful area of the compound, Jace seems to be having a wonderful dream, causing him to talk in his sleep. In his fantasy, Captain Ginyu has decided to make him the new captain and rebrand themselves as the Jace Commando. His lady friend grabbing her, I guess, alien version of a cell phone, giggling she needs to tell the girls about this. As he continues, announcing he'll then name Ginyu Minister of the Jace Commando Choreographies, before scoffing, Udaru, bah, I'll ditch you tomorrow, which is who this woman infers to be given her reaction. Just as his scouter begins to ring out, jolting him awake and several feet out of his bed, as someone informs him of an emergency nearby, replying he's on his way. As he and Goldo sprint down a corridor, the latter explaining how Raccoon and Birder got their butts handed to him, all while mowing down on a croissant. Jace finding this news very alarming. The self-proclaimed fastest in the universe zips around Nail, taunting him in the process. But while he is indeed quick, Nail states his movements are repetitive. Away, the captain poses for a photo with a child. As it seems, this world plays host to tourism. The kid thanks Ginyu for the picture, claiming to be his biggest fan, and his friends are going to be extremely jealous. In this universe, it seems Frieza has fooled a few civilizations into believing he's not pure evil, just as Frost did in Super. He then gets an incoming message on his scouter, telling the boy, "Justice and duty calls," who completely eats it up. The caller alerting him of the situation on the other side of the planet. Ginyu knows, even at top speed, it'll take him at least 5 minutes to get there. Doing away with the first wave of Ginyus. Naturally, Goku struggles much less than his ally. Arriving, Jace is even more shocked to see the report is true. Raccoon and Burter are down. Going on again, he points out they're not dead, and he doesn't want to fight. Though he can't even finish that sentence. Goldo, while tricky in his own right, but much less of a fighter, believes Jace is downright mental if he thinks he's going to engage head-to-head with warriors that could take out the other two Ginyus. Obliviously taunting him, Goku bends down to his level, simply asking where Frieza is, but shouting for him to stop. He's gone. Our hero taking note he can instantly teleport, thinking how cool it'd be if he could do that one day too. But as we know, this is just Goldo's time freeze, and since Goku can sense Ki, he doesn't stay hidden for long, politely inquiring if he could answer his question. Having no other choice, the Ginyu uses his paralysis technique. Trapping him with the attack, Goku is now at his foe's mercy. Knowing this is bad, luckily, the Saiyan himself has seen something like this before, asking what 432 times 17 is. Instantly answering 7,344, turns out Goldo is much better at math than Chaozu. Wondering, well, what now? Goldo shouting out to his partner to attack him while he can. And it looks like he's the last man
Still
standing.
here waiting, guys. Still here waiting.
With nothing else, he decides to simply impale the Saiyan. Trying to think fast, maybe a maximum Kaioken would free him. Just as Goldo fires. Thanking his savior, Nail keeps himself focused, starting to doubt whether or not Frieza is even here, believing they would have surely felt his presence by now. When Ginyu enters the room, confirming, no, Lord Frieza is not on this planet. Finding it astonishing they came here only to defy him. Surely they are insane. Before giving in to his natural Ginyu theatrics. My friends! Proud warriors! All dead! Raccoon correcting, they're all fine actually. His commander a bit deflated in at least the moment being killed. Powering up, Ginyu vows this little escapade ends now, as their strength is completely insignificant against not only their ruler, but even he himself. Nail admits he's immensely outclassed on this one, but Goku still has one more trick up his sleeve. While in space, a soldier begs for Frieza's attention as an urgent message has come from the capital, reporting a Namekian and Saiyan are causing a lot of trouble. But he finds this information ridiculous. Both those species are extinct, but his minion assures it's true. Regretfully, he orders the ship turn back to base, and whoever's at the end of this stupid joke is going to pay. Rejoining Ginyu and Goku mid-battle, the captain admits this Saiyan here is remarkably strong, declaring his admiration for him. And he would like to have his. Stopping, he realizes Goku isn't listening, but unfortunately, it's not due to his usual carefree nature. It's because he can sense an insane power approaching as Frieza's ship enters the atmosphere. Growing frustrated and being ignored, he takes this as the perfect opportunity, using his body swap technique. Look out! Without knowing what he was in for, Nail takes the attack head on for his ally, becoming Ginyu, asking if his friend is okay in the confusion. While it doesn't take Nail more than a few seconds to realize what just happened, knowing Goku was the true target, turning to use the attack again. Nail shouts for Goku to just get Frieza, and he'll handle Ginyu. A bit put off by the IRL Ginyu saying this, and not Nail, and still not aware of what just happened, he still knows he's right. Facing off against the tyrant in the sky, Goku states, without a doubt, this must be Frieza. His power surpasses the others by far. Thinking, Frieza can't place who this is, theorizing it could be the brother of Raditz, forgetting which planet he had him sent to. In fact, this Saiyan completely slipped his mind all these years, until now. And if he managed to make it this far, he must outclass Vegeta greatly. Worried he could actually be the fabled Super Saiyan, knowing it was right to eradicate those monkeys. Goku, being how he is, recommends they take this away from the city, as to not endanger any innocent lives. But Frieza finds this remark nothing short of insulting, as he plans to execute this pathetic fool with a single shot. Knocking the Space Lord to the ground below. Goku feels guilty for not forcing him away from the metropolis, standing and popping off his armor. The demon vows, by the time this is done, Goku is going to know hell. While crazy powerful, Frieza simply isn't a great fighter. So Goku takes the opportunity for a chance to fire him away from all the people.
Impossible!
Watching while he transforms again, our hero wonders how many states he has. Not able to overcome his weaker form, Nail gets the upper hand on Ginyu, dynamic spouting. If he doesn't like it, then he should return him to his original body. And untimely enough, Goldo takes this as his moment to save his leader. As Ginyu moves in screaming, "You don't need to tell me twice." His underling uses his paralysis attack again. Who mistakes the two? Laughing aloud, vengeance is his. But the real Ginyu tries to call Goldo an idiot, as he's got the wrong guy, while Nail casually walks his way. Nail doesn't spare on the gore, taking him down. As he mutters, he was far too dangerous to keep alive. Ginyu bellowing what a moron his subordinate is, or was. Now in his assault form, Frieza admits he's been pushed to his limits. Using his glue box seeker, it makes a direct hit on Goku, but the Saiyan manages to brush it off, deciding he has to take this to Kaioken times 10. Though the Tyrant is amazed, he managed to survive that single shot, let alone be perfectly fine. Taking note on how both Goku and Frieza's powers continue to increase. Nail knows he doesn't have the strength to see this vengeance mission to the end, but in Ginyu's body, it is an opportunity. But first he'll need to do away with the real Ginyu. Having lost his family and his planet. Today, Nail chooses to also lose his identity. Finishing off Ginyu and killing his own body. Nail thinks if Goku falls, then at least he himself will have the ability to exchange bodies. That way, he can stay hidden in Frieza's ranks and hit him when he least suspects it. Though the biggest challenge may be teaching his mind what this body already knows. Getting Frieza down in the dirt, Goku states the demon has lost, telling him to promise he'll never hurt anyone again for the rest of his life. But once more, the demon is only insulted by the Saiyan's words. With that final blast, it's over. Goku managed to put up a valiant battle, but in Frieza's true form, he was but an insect. The Galactic Emperor's rule will continue, and the Z-Fighter's place in the universe has come to an end. Feeling Goku's aura fade away, Recoome makes his way over. Stammering, Nail explains to his subordinate that it's all good, as he eliminated the Namek. But the Ginyu Force Brute scoffs. His bluff isn't taking. Change! Ah, finally! Coming full circle to Frieza's flashback, which may or may not be at the 1 hour 52 minute 11 second mark in the tournament marathon video, whenever that's up. Ginyu sees Frieza changed his form. But arriving, he screams to know what they have done. The capital of his perfect empire is destroyed, a magnificent gem of beauty. There's nothing left. But even though the Ginyus know who is really to blame, they dare not speak it. In fact, the captain takes full responsibility, as he was unable to contain the Saiyan. He presses, it's his fault. Executing him, his master can only angrily sneer. Oh really? Announcing their days of dancing are finished, and it's time for them to find a new name for their squad. Frieza demands they burn the commander's corpse. taking him out of sight. Ginyu body snatches the henchman, walking out without anybody the wiser. Resolved to not let himself be surprised again, the tyrant vows to obtain control of this form permanently. A few days pass. Ginyu finds himself out enjoying the nightlife, but still taken aback how Frieza renounced him. He had done everything for him. He had so much respect for him. 2 more weeks go by, and the former captain still sulks on what happened, realizing how unfair
what's
his
up, T?
master has been. He gave him everything.
Just here waiting for the
and
next
this
match.
is his
It's been like over
reward
15
when
minutes.
another soldier
I don't
happens
know what's
by,
going on tonight.
mocking, "Hey, Pipsqueak, laying low, are we?" Once again changing forms, apparently to the leader of this regiment, he kneels before Frieza, declaring the planet is theirs. However, there were many Frieza Force casualties, who only disinterestedly responds, "Good, I'm busy. Leave." Growing ever more infuriated, Ginyu realizes these men are literally dying for their ruler, and he doesn't even care. Over the next several years, Ginyu would take control over many bodies, but finding himself downgrading
I just
to a
played for 3
non-warrior
hours
life,
and then
he's
I went to the
greatly
store.
bored. But there's no way he'll ever
And then
work
I'm
for
here
Frieza
now.
again.
Feels pretty good.
Spouting he betrayed him, he dishonored him, he deserves to have his body taken. And staring at an image of the Cold family, he gets a much better idea. How about he put Frieza under his orders? Rushing to alert King Cold, a minion shouts 2 elite guards were found dead. But not even taking his eyes off his work, the ruler piffs this off. Shrugging, they merely use the energy detectors, as this intruder must have a high power and won't be able to hide. But snapping the guard's neck, he smirks. Not necessarily. Having seen this technique only a few times before, Cold actually gets a kick out of a being who can fluctuate their power, calmly asking what he wants. Several other soldiers head in as a familiar glare shines from the room. They stop short of entering while calling out to their highness. But scoffing, they're too slow and he's already handled the situation, demanding they clean up this mess and leave. But inside, he can't believe the change worked, not fully confident it would be effective on a frost demon. But focusing, Ginyu knows he must discover everything about Cold in order to pull this off. Naturally, he's aware of all his public videos, but all of his tells are another story. Not to mention this crazy power, as his ki is overwhelming, as if he's
We were
going to
fighting a lot more
explode.
matches earlier
But
today.
mastering his true form with his advanced
In
mental
night times,
prowess
difficult
and
to
combat
find matches,
discipline,
everyone's
his
sleeping
reduced
or-
states became
or doing
useless.
something.
But not using them would cause attention to his quote, sons. As life went on, communication among the 3 frost demons was few and far between, with neither Cooler or Frieza having a clue. As a true fighter, Ginyu continued to train his body in secret, passing limits no other demon before him had approached. Even his anger towards Frieza faded away. But how will this play into the multiverse tournament and their last opportunity to obtain the Dragon Balls? Year 737, the day of Planet Vegeta's destruction. The Earthlings universe, number 9. Spotting a lone space pod escaping the cataclysm, Cooler's men don't hesitate in deciding to intercept the vessel, as no good could possibly come from leaving it be. Obliterating it on the spot, Zarbon worriedly approaches Frieza, alerting his brother's ship has been spotted nearby. Furious at this, he demands to know what that treacherous snake is doing in his territory. Immediately confronting the trespasser, he wants to know what he believes he's doing, interfering in his affairs. But he doubles down on his actions, calling his brother a fool and letting a Saiyan escape. He is merely here to assist in finishing the job competently. Though the Emperor didn't ask Cooler to do anything, claiming to have spared that Saiyan purposely to serve him later. Even with this, his sibling shows no remorse, simply telling him too bad. Getting right in his face, Frieza barks he not enter his sector again. Disrespecting him further, he growls if he's done here, he can allow himself to. Backhanding Frieza, he dictates he not come near him or be spoken to in such a way. Understandingly taken aback by this, the younger brother shrieks he can't believe he had the goal not to only trespass in his territory, but to also attack him, while in his powered down state no less. When their father gets word of his actions here today, he vows Cooler will regret it for at least the next 100 years. But that's only if he doesn't receive even more tragic news. Killing his own family. Zarbon and Dodoria can't believe the sight before him. In fact, they aren't given the opportunity to process it. Cooler hissing what a shame it is that during Frieza's secret mission, something went horribly wrong. Whatever happened, no living witnesses remain to account for the dreadful loss of the fearsome Lord Frieza. Stacking the bodies into a pile, he commands his underlings to drag them back to his brother's ship and send it into the nearest star. That should tie things up here just fine. In a calculated, swift secret plan of his own, Cooler plotted an idea in a bid for King Cold to hand this territory and everything else Frieza ruled over to him. And thus began the reign of Cooler in this part of the universe, extending all the way to Earth, on which Son Goku would not arrive. Never would this reality know the potential of the infant in that pod, who was snuffed out before his adventure could ever begin,
found a match,
undoubtedly
it started 2
resulting
minutes.
in a domino effect of unprecedented proportions. 12 years go by. The following events occur in both universes 9 and 3, the latter being Bardock and Raichi's realm. Bulma begins her journey to find the Dragon Ball on Mount Paozu. Sticking to the bleep on her radar, she knows the next closest one must be around here somewhere. Stopping at a tiny shack, since we're familiar with the luxury she comes from, she can't help but comment to herself on what a rundown place it is. Drawing her weapon, she doesn't want to take any chances. Making her way in, the wily old Gohan heard her car pull up and chooses to hide quietly behind the door, scoping out the intruder's actions. Relieved to find no one here, she wonders where that Dragon Ball could be. When Gohan pipes up behind her, questioning if Miss Burglar is looking for something. Firing 6 rounds and screaming in fright. Somehow the grandpa catches 7 bullets before dropping 10. So in reality, she probably just drained the entire magazine. But semantics aside, he chides the young girl, reprimanding that was very dangerous what she just did. But she could only stand in a
Oh, we have a Broly match. We'll see, man. If we can key rush him and beat him up at level 2. We just need to find 2 more. I'll go deal with that real quick. Lucky the key was right there. See. Oh, he was there. So we found all the keys. Where's this box? Now we got all the keys. And looks like 5 Dragon Balls. He's gonna have to go to level 2. Or you might get to level 3. Just have to wait for these guys over there. It'd be nice if they if it was all synced together. These guys are, I don't know what those guys are doing. It's too quiet. Where's this guy? He's over there. We have to jump Paragus. Keep really distracted. It's just spamming. Button. Okay. I need someone to get me with the sensu beam. Bro, why'd you leave me? He left me, bro. This guy did absolutely nothing. He just sat there waiting for the escape time machine. Audio?
machine. Use it to get out of there.
Bad guy. Should be working now.
The escape time machine is back. Whenever you have a beacon, you can call it again.
You okay?
Thanks.
Jake!
It happens sometimes, man. Happens. You probably could have won this match. You just need to find the Dragon Balls. Because we all stayed alive. They just kind of threw.
I've sent the escape time machine. Use it to get out of there.
Bullshit. You put back on the manga.
Amazement that he literally just caught bullets. He then scolds, well, they were going to damage my wall. After a grocery list of excuses and a couple cups of tea, Bulma told the old man exactly what she was looking for and why, revealing her
We need to get
knowledge
a
of
few solid
Shenron's
wins,
power
and we'll get
and her
into
quest to bring the
Z
7
rank.
orbs together. Upon hearing this, Gohan is happy to hand over his Dragon Ball, but only on the condition he accompanies her, as it's obvious she'll face some unsightly danger ahead. And not
we're
to
priority
mention,
2 right
she
now,
herself
so
is a danger
maybe
to
3 more
anyone
matches
that
till we
stands
have
in
a
her
rematch.
way, given how trigger happy she is. The young lady actually has no issue with this offer, glad to have him along. In her head, an invincible martial arts master will be the perfect bodyguard, and may even speed things up a bit. Well, of course, he's merely content in going on a road trip with a stunning young girl. Their adventures would play out very similar to the familiar story, but with Gohan reuniting with Roshi and Turtle. And not long later, Ox King on Fire Mountain, avoiding what was initially a minor confrontation. Discovering it was Oolong terrorizing Aru village, not a vicious monster, and facing off against Yamcha in the Diablo Desert, making quick work of him, as the bandit bows before him, begging to be taken on as a disciple. Even a little romance would ensue. With only a few more minor annoyances in their way, a rabbit and his cronies would get to stay on Earth, and the Pilaf gang gets what's coming to them. Soon, their adventure was complete, and they collected all 7 Dragon Balls. But, in still meeting Yamcha, and getting to make a wish with no interference.
Yo, T, I made it
what
in the
did
top
Bulma
100
wish
for Raiders.
45 years pass.
So we accomplished
the
the goal.
Vargas land on the
Rank 92
lookout
right
to
now
invite
for
the
Frieza.
Earth's heroes to their tournament. Tien, never one to turn down a challenge, is the first to accept the proposal. Yamcha, banging his fists together, boasts they've already fought the entirety of their own universe. What could possibly be worse than the others? When 2 young students of Krillin, also sporting turtle shells, hop up and down begging their sensei to allow them to come with. Apologizing it's too soon for his pupils, as they still have much training to do before participating in an event like this. Knowing if they see the Z-Fighters battle at full power, they would lose all hope. One assuring they've gotten plenty strong. Krillin presses, they just worry about keeping that up, and they might be ready
I'll show
next
you
time.
after.
Continuing to
match.
argue, they complain they'll
Probably do a
never learn
summit
to
as well.
fight only
See if
by
I can get
wearing
some
these
of
turtle
those.
shells and doing random jobs. Of course, we know that's how Krillin was initially introduced to the Kame Way as well. But nowadays, it also doesn't hurt in paying the bills of the
Told
school.
Terrence to catch up.
Remembering
Make
back
sure
to the good
everyone's
old
in the
days,
top 100 before the
he was the
season
Turtle
ends.
Master's only
Should be ending
student.
soon.
But surely, the focus
think
did
maybe this
nothing to
week,
hurt his
actually.
progress.
Or next
Yamcha
week.
butting in, urging they not underestimate their training, as his own biggest defeat came from a great master of this school. Essentially reiterating the story we just saw, he tells of how Gohan agreed to be the bodyguard of a young girl, joining her on a perilous journey. And at the time, he himself was one of those perils, robbing them in the desert,
Yo, Terrence,
demanding
where
they
you at,
hand
homie?
over all capsules and money. Alternatively, they could always hand over their lives instead. Twisting his mustache, Gohan jokes the youngster shouldn't play with such pointy things. After all, he could hurt himself brandishing a weapon like that. Oolong cheering on the old-timer from a distance, while Puar can only look in horror, deducing
The
what's going
legend
on from the
Tiger T
stories
has
he's heard.
donated
Yamcha,
$1
now
and
much
99
more
cents.
alert,
Shout out to
questions if
Top
this man
100.
happens to
Thank
be
you
the
for
great
super chat,
martial
homie.
artist's son Gohan
I
by
appreciate
chance.
it.
Keeping up with his lighthearted humor, the master has to admit it's kind of embarrassing to be recognized under these circumstances. But
Thank you, man.
instead of backing down,
W.
Yamcha is more determined than ever to win this fight, believing it will be an honor to defeat him with his strongest attack. Waking up at a vital moment, the groggy Bulma hisses they're being really noisy and she can't sleep. Spotting the beautiful woman before him, the warrior's brain turns to potatoes. So Gohan plants him in the ground with a modest kick. Confused that was his strongest technique. Back in the present, the former bandit giggles he was able to find a master and love at the same time. The kid's whispering how weird this guy is. Catching him off guard, Tien tells them not to be sad, as their day will come. After all, they are in the best school. He would know this firsthand. The girl quipping, "Oh what, you're also gonna tell us Talking over her, he assures no. It's a long story and he generally doesn't get nostalgic. Really not letting it go. They continue to try to sway their teacher, wanting to at least watch the fights. When Videl comes swooshing up onto the lookout, thanking the others for inviting her as well, excited to compete against new foes. Yamcha
Right now we're
asking if
5
she
out of 8,
really
just need
plans
3
on
more
taking the
plays.
Z-Sword, but it does always seem to impress the opponents. The children politely greet her, who's just as cordial in seeing them too. Getting on their good side, she inquires if they'd like to take care of her motorcycle while they're gone. And given the facial expressions, I think we know the answer. Zooming to space, they now shout for their sensei to take his time in that other universe, being given something of interest besides training to keep them entertained. While there are still many stories untold in this realm, such as where these two students of Krillin came from, how Videl found herself in possession of the Z-Sword, or how Yamcha became an android. For now, it's just left to our imagination. On Earth, September 10th, year 749. In Universes 3 and 9, Bulma, Son Gohan, and Yamcha met while searching for the Dragon Balls. And now, they all live at Capsule Corp together. Refer to Chapter 69 to expand on this, or check out Part 59 of this video series. In Universe 13, a demon child is still killing people. But far away from all this, near the peaceful island which hosts Kame House, a young man is seeking a master. Following similar motions as the original series, Krillin presents his would-be master with some particular qualities that really impress him. But he should know that he doesn't usually take on pupils. If he wants to become one, he will have to achieve a task for him, which the youngster has no problem blindly agreeing to. He heads back out to sea chanting a jaunty tune. Fetching an energetic young sexy girl for my master. Oh wait, is he preparing a kidnapping? Is his new master a paleontologist and making him his accomplice? No. He's sure the two of them are going to be the perfect role models for all the young raiders out there. Although, having just rowed all the way there to the island, he can't believe that he has to cross the entire ocean again. He'll never find a girl out here. Sure enough, a mermaid pops out of the water. Looks like something conked her on the head and caused her to lose consciousness. Pulling her aboard, the boy questions if she's okay, but she's unable to even form
give
a
it another
proper
minute.
sentence.
If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna say.
Growing up, look in his eye, Krillin promises to take her to a doctor. Moments later, he calls out to his master that he's back, who himself is already suited up for his date. He's surprised he's returned so soon. He whips outside to see the mermaid, now alive and well for the mysterious bump on her head. He quickly and excitedly approaches her to ask how she's doing. And alive and well may have been a bit of an overstatement, as her head actually hurts a lot. The boy at least has the foresight to let Roshi know what's going on. He told her that he could heal her. So Kame House MD moves in to examine her closely. What she needs is freaking Masahide Chichis. Getting about what he deserves. The old-timer remains undeterred. He proudly informs that his training is notoriously very hard. He will have to find another
Where's Super
voluptuous
Saiyan?
girl.
Yo, Super Saiyan, you watching?
But there's only water around them. How the heck are they gonna do that? Leveling with them, that is true. He will take another approach. He suggests that they go to the city. He will show them the ways of a true pickup artist. Unleashing his airboat, inflatable raft, complete with an unnecessary helm, an exposed serpentine pulley for the fan, I think, overweight anchor, and what appears to be a gaudy exhaust pipe from a hot rod. And a backwards jet engine? Then again, this entrance could work as the air intake and the housing narrows to a point to allow a more controlled propelling jet, since of course the accompanying craft isn't intended for air travel. Though I'm not sure if such a compact design would allow for the necessary devices to guarantee proper ignition and execution within the combustion chamber. It would leave the engine more or less just an expensive and really dangerous blowtorch. And an old school speaker system. In all fairness, Roshi even admits that the first step to impress a girl is with a flashy and expensive ride. However, his wannabe student doesn't think this is it. The second step is to dress like an impressive gentleman. Though again, Krillin doesn't feel the same. But thinking he has a theory. The master must be so good at picking up girls. He gives himself a handicap like this stupid raft in these hokey clothes. Something I gotta disagree with. Now I wear a hoodie and gym shorts almost every day of the year,
I'm
so you
just gonna
can't hate
reset
on a
it,
nice
guys.
suit.
We've been
And while the
stuck at
raft
6
may
out of 8 for
be
10 minutes.
distinguished, I'd still rock it every
Try
single
again.
day. Coming ashore, the gang attaches the craft to a dock and happily rush in to land. The old-timer is convinced that this city will be good. Getting a look. Oh my. Oh my. Popeye. Krillin just knows this place is perfect. They'll surely find a girl for Master here, and then they can start the real training. However, the turtle hermit immediately takes the wind out of his protege's sail. He informs that they won't be going to the beach. It's too crowded. Also, albeit keeping this part to himself, he's sort of not allowed there anymore. He concludes that they'll talk to girls sitting in cafes, parks, or walking on the street. It's well known that girls love to be interrupted by passing strangers completely unprovoked. It's also considered romantic to catcall them with ridiculous and generic pet names. And this plan went about as expected. Running up to yet another woman, he still hasn't lost an ounce of resolve. Or learned to
This manga is
talk
called
better.
The
He
Universe
jubilantly
Backstories,
shouts,
Dragon Ball
"Hello, Miss
Multiverse
Perky Bum,"
by Mondo Cool.
who actually responds a bit more polite than deserved. Maybe even knocking the old man down a peg if he had any shame. Yes, old man? You need help crossing the street? Then, as one could guess, he does
Just type
something
in
likely illegal, causing her to
Dragon Ball
shout for the
Multiverse.
police.
You'll find it.
Although they could have easily overpowered
On
the
YouTube.
authorities, they comply and are put in a cell. The guard yells that they'll stay in here until they've learned some respect. Well, it was about this time Krillin started to get suspicious. Maybe this isn't the proper way to pick up ladies. After all, they haven't even gotten the slightest positive response since arriving here. But Roshi doesn't understand. Back in his day, they didn't ask girls for their opinions. And when exactly was his day? About 300 years ago? Why does he ask? Which actually makes a lot of sense canonically if you think about it. Roshi is older than the sand on his island. It doesn't excuse his routinely less than gentlemanly behavior,
Playing
but
Dragon
it
Ball
does
The
at least
Breakers,
make a
just
lot
waiting
more
for the next
sense.
match to begin.
Just then, a group of cops roll in as excited as ever. One shouts, "Good news! We got launch at last!" The secretary is just as happy as the
Yo,
officer
Terrence, you need to
appears
work your
be.
magic, bro.
Looking in close, and what we already know about her, it's pretty obvious why she went so peacefully. The clerk's smile quickly turns sour as she informs that there's a pervert in one of the cells. Be sure to put her in the other. Which, good looking out for the inmates. As he walks in to examine the arrestees. In one area, a sad young boy and feeble old man. The other, a spike hair man and a literal warthog. Though, as we all know, looks can be deceiving. It turns out that the Hogman is only in for tax fraud. But the buff dude committed one of the worst sins of mankind. Maybe Launch is better off with the pervy old man. Wouldn't take long before night fell over the mainland. It seems Roshi made his attempt at doing a little sweet talking. A still handcuffed launch summarizes the Arnie spun. She wants to confirm that he's telling her that she could just go live with him in a quiet place away from the city. She thinks that would be the best option for her. She'll go with him.
Yes! They did it! They did it, boy!
Although the girl looks on a bit bemused, Krillin sees the situation a little differently than reality. He thinks the only reason the master is so happy is because he finally gets to be his official pupil. Gazing outward to the full moon outside, which means absolutely nothing on a planet bereft of Saiyan life, Launch is afraid that they will only be able to achieve this proposed life after years of prison. While she may or may not remember exactly why she's here, it's pretty clear she's at least aware of her other
Guys, we found a match.
self-actions.
Should start in 2
And
minutes.
that's all? Simple problems with simple solutions. What's a little prison escape when you're the strongest man in the world? Snapping her cuffs with the slightest of pulls, Kame-sen grabs the bars blocking their path to freedom, nonchalantly uttering, "Time to elope." He effortlessly makes a new doorway for the cell, but the tax fraud and scumbag call after him. Heavens, good sirs, you can't do that. This is public property. Their tax dollars paid for this. The other echoing,
Yeah, where's the respect?
the trio don't waste any time dragging their feet and quickly make their way back to the water. Krillin suggests that maybe they could go through the sewers to go better unnoticed. Orochi squabbles that he's not that kind of martial arts turtle. They get to the dock without any ensuing drama. First, the Master Ushers launch onto the craft. The pair needlessly catch their breath on the dock. The
Another
old man
Brody.
whispers to his pupil that he thinks she likes him. But at least at the moment, she's more focused on how cold the night has gotten. Instead of hopping on also, the former takes his time boasting to Krillin how the ways of a gentleman. As a familiar sneeze screams out over the ocean. With that powerful
The only way we're gonna
the
win this
bandit
is that
evildoer
every
launch has
player has a
returned.
stun.
Takes
we
no delay in
survive when the
stealing
time
their
machine
boat,
comes.
cackling into the darkness.
Otherwise, it's difficult.
Adios, losers! Leaving him high and dry. The two
We should be good.
Can you hear me?
Flying Nimbus!
It's Trunks. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then
Scared
place
too.
them in the right spots.
Anyone, please!
You found a power key. Go slot it.
I'm scared. Thank you so much.
We're already close to our level 2.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. I sent you a super transfer. Use it to hold the enemy back.
Thanks.
Great! You know what to do with that key.
Flying Nimbus!
Let's stop for a second. Whole bunch of civilians.
Are you here to save me?
Hey, great! You
You guys see that dodge? Going this way, dude. See you later.
Great! You know what to do with that key.
Wasting my dragon change, but at least we got away.
Flying Nimbus!
Direction, what's up? Playing
I
Dragon
sent
Ball
a
the
new
Breakers
super
right now.
transmitter. Sorry, that'll have to do for now.
I need to find that C key. I do have a radar.
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Sacrifice. This one?
Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. Faster!
How did I even get hit? You found the key though.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Wake up, will you?
I owe you one.
I'm gonna head to
Flying
A.
Nimbus!
He's coming this way.
Flying Nimbus!
Kinda scared. Fuck it. Needs to grab that transfer. I'm not good with the transfer with Broly. I like Trunks with Goku Black.
Here we go!
The startup system for the super time machine is ready.
Flying Nimbus!
46%.
Change!
Still have a stun. Still have at least a minute before we get a Dragon Chain back. That's level 30. Still need some supplies. We'll get a new transfer once this guy gets
I'll
here.
send some supplies to help. Make good use of them. The startup system is under attack. Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need to. Got it?
I'm almost at my Dragon Chain, so I'll just wait a couple of seconds. not gonna waste the let my teammates get it. Not the barrier. Yeah, now I can grab some sodas if there's any left.
So tread carefully if you want to get closer.
Do you have a final dragon thing?
Holy hell. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Right here with my Golo gun.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme
We hit him,
caution
but
if you're going to help them.
killed the other guy.
Startup system's destroyed. The escape time machine's
Oh, that
almost
sucks.
prepped. You need to head for the beacon that's
If I got my final
indicated by
dragon
a
change,
blue
I'll
line.
die. Oh, that was good.
You bastard!
It's all good. Next match. Sick of Broly. That's why my rank keeps going down. I wouldn't even be mad if this guy left me.
I owe you one. I've sent the escape plan. Use it
Out
to
of
get
there.
out of there. Ally down. If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
We still lost, but we escaped. Same shit.
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Bro, I'm telling you. You need a solid pre-made or a low level Broly. That's the only way you're winning. You need to nerf him. Can't do that. We went up a little bit. Alright, back to the manga until we find the next match.
Two are instantly surrounded by the local authorities. They demand the pair surrender as they're being arrested for breach of moral standards and vandalism. Which sounds a lot better than a charge of destruction of a government building and aiding and abetting and other laws I'm not educated enough to know.
Alas, Kame-sen and Krillin go quietly and were sentenced to only 2 months of community service. Now wearing his mentor's heavy shell, he questions why he has to wear this thing and do all the work. Thinking quick, the old man tells the boy that this is his training. His introduction into the turtle school begins now. Which actually isn't a bad excuse. He'll have to remember that one for the future. Universe 3 and 9, or the realms where Goku never became the hero of Earth. On planet Earth, we find ourselves at the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, May 6, age 750. For a quick refresher, this was the first tournament Goku and Krillin competed in. It features fighters such as Jackie Chun, Ranfan, Nam, Yamcha, Giran, and Bacterian.
So this is an alternate
In this
timeline.
universe, it appears that Yamcha and Krillin both represent Kame School, but haven't met. Yamcha introduces himself, informing him of this information. Looking back at him with a cocky sneer, the boy chortles that he must have got conned. Master Roshi only has one pupil, and that's him. And he's absolutely right. Yamcha's master, Son Gohan. He was the first pupil of Master Roshi. Something Krillin can't believe. The great Son Gohan? He thought he was dead. If we remember to the last chapter, it's actually stated that Yamcha, Bulma, and Son Gohan all met, and now live together at Capsule Corp. The two of whom unexpectedly run into each other. Of course, even the best disguise wouldn't fool them. Gohan is really happy to see his former master, who feels the same. The announcer calls out to gain the attention of everyone around. They're going to draw their order to see who's facing who. The first round will consist of Krillin versus Giran, then Jackie Chun versus Ranfan, Yamcha versus Bacterian, and Nam versus Bryce Liu. Watching on, Poir cheers on his best friend. And if you didn't know, Poir is indeed a boy. On the other hand, Bulma steams that he better win. He's been snubbing her for months while training with Son Gohan for this. The tournament doesn't take any time getting underway. The announcer declares the start of the bracket, Krillin versus Giran. If we remember how much trouble Goku had against this fighter in the original series, we know that he's far from the least formidable in this contest. Almost immediately after the match begins, he lays his foe flat on the stage even faster than he expected. But hopping back up, it's not over yet.
You want more? Let go, you little pest!
In a desperate attempt to shake Krillin's hold, Giran foolishly pushes himself forward and out of the ring. But what? Wait, if he's out of the ring, then so is his opponent! Although that isn't necessarily true. As we can see, he managed to keep his feet inside the arena. Making it official, it is the end of the first match, and Krillin's the winner. The second match will consist of Jackie Chun versus Ranfan. If you're familiar with the original series, you're aware of the latter's tactics. She immediately gets flirty with the old man, seductively requesting that he be gentle with her, causing Roshi to completely fall out of his faux persona for a moment. He eagerly replies, "No worries, my dear. You're in good hands." Restraining her from her abrupt assault, he condemns the little lady that she seems pretty angry, who manipulatively screams for the pervert to let go of him. But this is a fight. They're supposed to touch each other. Leading to him letting his guard down just like she planned. Unfortunately for her, even her strongest punch has completely no effect on the strongest human on Earth. However, her hand being on his chest gives him all the reason he needs to. Hiroshi. Massage did Chi-Chi's coming full circle. He laughs that now it's his turn. She quickly retreats into the realization that this guy really is a pervert. Men like him have nothing in their pants. Has he ever known a real woman? While it's a strategy I highly discourage against real-world perverts, she nearly completely disrobes in the ring, asking if he has the huevos to touch her now. In this case, on the other hand, it works perfectly. Jackie Chun's own blood pressure propels him out of the ring, giving Ranfan the victory. Quickly moving on to the next fight, Yamcha will face off against Bacterian. As Ranfan dresses and leaves the stage, Gohan, or Bryce Lou, approaches her to quip that that was very cheeky of her. Who has a pretty fair comeback to this. Bacterian has on less clothes than anyone here, and nobody's saying a thing to him. And while I admit that Ranfan's strategy is less than conventional in martial arts, a good fighter also has to be focused and disciplined to not allow such things to distract him. The former wolf bandit enters the ring with a fitting bandana. He figures if he wears this thing, his smell won't affect him. As the fiend tries to incapacitate Yamcha with his horrid breath, luckily the bandana does it's ripping it off. Him just breathing on it was enough to make it utterly reek. The foul monster cackles that his smell won't leave him now. It'll be stuck on him for this entire fight. Even the crowd is having trouble suffering through the stench. Bulma holds her nose and shudders that Yamcha will need to take 8 showers if he ever wants to approach her again. With the Kame student, he needs to breathe, but he doesn't want to dare open his mouth to do so. As he goes in for one quick inhale, Bacterian hatches his most fiendish move. Lev attack! Following that sinister onslaught, Yamcha falls unconscious. After a quick 10 count, Bacterian is declared the winner. This battle does come with a bit of an asterisk though. The authors excuse themselves from this pitiful fight, but as you know, Yamcha could never make it past the first round. Also, unlike another one of our heroes, he has a nose. The final match of this round will consist of Nam and Bryce Lou. At least this is a more conventional fight where neither warrior has any gimmicky tricks. Bulma can't help but notice that the old guy reminds her of someone. Alas, with what could have been a very fun fight to watch, we're not really treated to any of it. Gohan rings out Nam without much issue, but congratulates him on fighting well. Though for the humble traveler, all this means is he won't be able to save his village. Given the altruist he is, or at least pretty good-hearted person from what we know he is, he questions save it from what? He wants to hear everything. The first semifinal will be Krillin and Ranfan. The young man cowers to himself that he wanted to be a strong martial artist to impress girls, but he can't even look at him head on. He'll ask Yamcha about this. A hot guy like him can't be scared of girls. Even against a, 13-year-old? Ranfan has no shame and maintains her previous strategy. She gets all girl-faced and fawns that he was super strong against Giran. She only hopes he won't hurt her. The good news is that Ranfan may have been an alright fighter, despite her dirty style, but against what is essentially a superhuman at this point in the story, she stands no chance. With that ring out, Krillin advances to the finals. Hiroshi quarrels, that was much too fast, Krillin! She didn't even have time to undress! We now have Bacterian and Bryce Lou. Unlike Yamcha, Gohan has had a lot more experience in battle and has no desire to bother getting close. He's gonna avoid the smell. With a quick Kamehame, he sends him soaring out of bounds. An incredible instant victory by Bryce Lou. He has demonstrated for them a technique reserved for the elite. But this acts as a sort of getaway for the turtle students. That old man, he just used the legendary technique of Master Roshi. Yamcha grits that he knew it. It's son Gohan. Why is he participating in a disguise? This echoes Yamcha's suspicion of Jackie Chun in the original series. Gohan glances down towards the announcer. They can start the next fight immediately if they want. And with no reason to decline. Looks like that's what they're gonna do. Yamcha approaches Krillin. Apparently feeling a bit betrayed by his master, he reveals that he knows all of Bryce Lou's weaknesses. Moments later, the duo find themselves facing off. Even with the secrets Yamcha told him, Krillin doesn't appear fully confident. This initial onslaught only works to tire him out. He suddenly stops and gazes at his foe deadpan. Bryce questions if he's done attacking, who replies that it's useless. He sees all his attacks coming. So evade this, charging the Kamehameha. But it's only a distraction as he deploys part of Yamcha's advice and tickles him. The old man is paralyzed and unable to fight back. When Krillin releases the most fiendish plan of all, hitting him right in his old man back pain. That's when the youngster goes in for the finishing blow. He plans to send him out of the ring like pretty much all the others in this tournament. Unfortunately, this is something Gohan easily counters and instead sends him flying. It looks like he's going to need more experience to defeat him. This gives Gohan the victory and secures Roshi's plan. After all, he only entered as Jackie Chun to defeat his own pupil. That way, they would still have something to work for. If they were to win here so quick and easily, it would demotivate them to become stronger. Good thing Gohan happened to show up with the same idea. Returning to Nam, Son Gohan offers him his winnings from this tournament. He only asks that he use it well. Who is far too humble to accept. That money is his. However, he doesn't need it. He lives a hermit's life. Or at least he did before becoming accommodated free of charge by the richest people on Earth. Yamcha cuts right to the chase. Why such a disguise? Who stares daggers into him and admits they did it so the next generation wouldn't get too full of themselves? But they? Who else does he mean? And no one, of course. He's just a silly old man. Though naturally, he just doesn't want to blow Roshi's cover. And thus, the pupils of the Turtle School didn't become full of themselves. They continue their training with renewed vigor, even though Yamcha would definitely take a few vacations. Unknown to them, their story will continue, forced by terrible events.
Alright guys, we found a match. Just start in 2 minutes.
In Universe 11, the same universe Babidi would one day rule over, our heroes faced a different threat in the 3 cyborgs of Dr. Gero. Though beaten in their last encounter, they live to fight another day. The Saiyan Prince, however, takes his defeat poorly. And while Goku still battles the deadly heart virus, Piccolo decides to make the biggest decision of his life. Speaking to his fellow Namek, Kami himself confirms he and Piccolo, or rather his predecessor, used to be a single entity. But of course, Piccolo already knows this well. Without even having to speak it, Kami questions, is this truly necessary? Taken aback, he'd suggest it's not, as even Trunks, who literally traveled back in time to warn these creatures will destroy the world, has given them all the proof they need. And after they almost killed, cutting his sentence short, Kami interjects, Earth's heroes were the ones who started that fight, and the cyborgs consciously chose to spare all of their lives. Questioning his elder if this renders them not a threat in his eyes. That's not the case. But if he's going to make the final decision of his life, he at least wants a good reason. In Universe 18, our universe, Kami had feelings of unease.
I'm bored.
This guy's a pretty high level raider. We have to work together. Try to set all the keys as fast as
It's
possible.
Trunks. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Flying Nimbus!
Once I revert to an egg, I must bury myself underground for 3 years. There my form matures.
Thank you so much.
There we go.
You found a power key. Go slot it.
I swear I heard another one.
Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick.
Flying Nimbus!
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Save me!
Won't work for you.
Great. You know what to do with that key.
he's
very
destroying.
impressive indeed. Although I still have yet to achieve my most perfect.
It looks like. Yeah. So we have to find that B key. and then
Flying
head to E
Nimbus!
after.
Holy hell. That's a new power key. Place it now. Oh man.
Racing that guy to the end of the earth, bro.
I'm so pleased that this day has finally come.
Please help me. Thank you very much.
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Someone call me.
Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick.
Flying Nimbus!
That guy's kind of kill. And this is the one. I think he's gonna set the B key. Nope.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
I head to the E key. You don't get busted.
Welcome. Thank you. Close.
Get out here right now!
There's only 4 of us left.
Access the startup
Not
system
good.
from the central area.
Get the hell out of here!
Before I go, then you're done. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits.
Thought I was
Think
a gun.
before rushing in.
Struggle all you want, but I will absorb you, and it will be glorious.
Flying Nimbus!
Someone.
Oh, game over.
You have my thanks.
I'll send some supplies to help. Make good
3 of
use
us
of
now.
them.
Don't have Dragon Ball right now.
Flying Nimbus!
The startup system's under attack. It's dangerous, so tread carefully if you want to get closer.
Okay, guys. We don't get no transfers, unfortunately. Nothing we could have done.
I owe you.
The startup system is under attack. Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need to. Got it?
That's it. I'm out of here.
Ally down. If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
These guys are annoying, though.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Just Kyle left.
The startup system's destroyed. The escape time machine's almost prepped. You need to head for the beacon that's indicated by a blue light.
That should be everyone. Welcome.
I'm close.
It's KO, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, what's... Where did all that bravado go?
Finish Buster! I'm close.
And that's game. Should be having my rated match soon.
Ease these past 4 years because of the presence of a certain life form. But here, Cell never arrives. Mentioning to Piccolo, merging would leave the Dragon Balls useless. And today, it's not power they need, refusing to fuse back into a single individual. Again, in our universe, Bulma alerted the others over the phone a second time machine was found. However, in this instance, the conversation would go a bit differently. Krillin inquires where she's calling from, having tried to get a hold of Gohan to no avail. But ignoring him, she questions if her son from the future is with him. Handing the call over, she makes the request for him to head back to Jiro's lab to recover any computers, hard drives, whatever he can find and bring him to her. But having already tried that in his own time and discovering nothing but rubble. And while the universes may change, Bulma's stubbornness does not. So she asks him to go anyway, pointing out they probably checked years after the fact, but now that only a few hours have passed, it's worth a shot. And sure enough, they discover Jiro's hidden basement. Trunks mumbles he'll have to check this place out in his own time too. Stepping up to a sort of incubation chamber, Krillin shouts from behind he's found the schematics to the cyborgs. Confident Bulma will be able to do something with them. With that, Krillin suggests they destroy the tank behind him. Something about it just gives him the creeps. Obliterating the lab and any remaining useful data, Hope seems to have found its way back into the Z-Warrior's hands. 3 days would pass. At Kame House, Goku recovers from the heart virus, with aspirations to stand up against the cyborgs. He tells the others he plans to train for the next year. If he can't beat them by then probably nothing else can be done. Roshi points out the obvious, and they probably don't have that long. But Goku knows a place where time is generally not a factor. Gathering everyone at Kami's lookout, they would enter the Room of Spirit and Time. No! The God of Earth declining the proposal, denying their entry to the room. Just as with Piccolo, he claims they're all overreacting. First of all, these so-called monster cyborgs have only committed a few petty crimes at worst. Second, the sacred chamber is a very dangerous place and will only ever be used as a last resort. And third, there is no way he would help someone like Vegeta become more powerful. Growling back, the prince is aghast this is his thanks for living here peacefully for the last 4 years, not so much as hurting a fly. But ready to die on this hill, the god barks he would sooner trust his evil counterpart than him, stating, the problem with villains like he is they believe not pillaging and murdering suddenly makes them angels. Trunks butts in, assuring Kami the cyborgs of his time are indeed mass murderers. As of now, they've almost completely wiped out the entire human race. If they aren't stopped here and now, it's only a matter of when they will strike. Understanding where the time traveler comes from, the Guardian simply believes this timeline and his are vastly different. Krillin, agreeing with Kami, admits he too doesn't feel they're all bad, and now that Goku's back, they shouldn't be much of a problem. Scoffing, Piccolo reminds the cyborgs clearly stated their goal is to kill Goku, but ready to risk the world for some... Krillin continues to make his case, arguing at one time Piccolo and Vegeta also vowed to kill Goku. Even Tien, but now they're all friends.
We are friends!
I will kill Kakarot! I'll terrorize this world! Either way, at an impasse with Kami, the gang would train the old-fashioned way, just out of earshot of the cyborgs. But having such a short time frame, will Goku be able to find a level above Super Saiyan soon enough? The would-be villains arriving at Kame House. 18 squabbles with her brother, since he just had to travel by vehicle instead of just flying. Goku has probably had long enough to find the perfect hiding place, having searched Mount Paozu as well. 17 admits he too is getting a bit bored at their lack of success. Pointing out to sea, 16 announces Son Goku is roughly 3,400 kilometers in this direction. Questioning how he knows this, the android has detected him training several times now. Then asking the obvious, and if he's so motivated to kill Goku, why didn't he mention this earlier? This goes unanswered as 17 is ready to fight. Instructing his son, Goku explains just making your ki larger isn't going to do it. To go Super Saiyan, Gohan must release his anger. When Krillin spots something in the sky, the cyborgs have arrived. 17 mockingly shouts out to the hide-and-seek champion of the world, Goku himself, challenging the Saiyan to a fight to the death outright. 18 adding, if anyone tries to interfere, 16 and herself will put them down instantly. But 16 refuses to. Maybe because he's only programmed to kill Goku? The Saiyan agrees, but wants to go to a more deserted place first, yelling this is a deserted place, as only his house is here. But with Bulma inside, the scientists are quickly alerted to the presence of our villains, working feverishly to finish their latest device, blocking the blast. Trunks screams for them not to attack his mother. Keeping her word, 18 stops him with ease, piffing these guys really can't help themselves. While doing little to engage in the battle, 17 taunts our hero, asking if he only plans to evade. While in the forest, it seems Vegeta chose to take to solitude for his training, sensing the fluctuating ki. He knows what must be happening. Teleporting behind him, the cyborg confusedly questions how Goku just did that, who, like a fool, reveals he can move instantaneously by locking onto someone's ki, and Krillin was behind him, his aggressor actually taking an interest in this ability. While his sister is less enthused, barking she's past the point of annoyance.
Now's our chance! Together!
Even their combined efforts only frustrate 18. Calling out to Gohan, Bulma excitedly shouts she's finished the device, and they're saved. explaining to the boy this remote will deactivate the cyborgs. All they have to do is use it near him. But overhearing, saving Bulma, the remote is knocked out of her hand. Getting clever and teleporting out of the dog pile, Goku claims the device, but doesn't feel it's all too fair to kill him with the press of a button. Bulma, after being unintentionally bodied by Tien, shouts for him to get close to him and use it already, threatening to blow up the entire planet if they come anywhere near him. The scientist questions if he can use instant transmission to get close, but the Saiyan needs to be able to feel his ki to do so. When Krillin asks where 18 went, jumping into the nearby lake, she uses her energy to cause a flood in the area. Before quipping, she hopes 16 doesn't rust. But more importantly, she destroys the remote, Bulma screaming she didn't intend it to be kicked and drowned. But the ramifications of this quickly swells over the fighters, believing now they're doomed. Vegeta scoffs, as if this plan would have worked anyway. Before 17 scowls they've gone too far now, and he's going to kill them all. But jeering that won't change anything. Bulma had the forethought to send the plans of the remote to scientists all over the world, and it's only a matter of days before they'll build another one that can work from miles away. So, this is the end for the cyborgs, causing the villain to scream their new mission is to hunt down every scientist on the planet. Trunks stating they've finally shown their true colors, but 16 merely utters, "No." Turning to 17, he urges he not be a criminal. Before all of this, he was a decent person. He never killed humans or animals for fun. Arguing the Z fighters can kill them at any time though. Krillin chimes in, but they don't want to. If the cyborgs don't go on some kind of rampage, the Dragon Team won't bother him. And if they ever just want a good fight, he's sure Goku would be willing to accept at any time. Who adds, that sounds great, but if he wants a real challenge, he'll have to give him a bit longer to train. But 18 is convinced they're lying, pleading her brother not listen, as there is no way anyone would just let him go after almost killing him. Chuckling that his own comment just came full circle. From Kami's lookout, Krillin chords he thought Jiro gave him a bit more information, telling how Goku not only let Piccolo go after their battle, but also Vegeta, and they both threatened to destroy the entire planet. Gohan, backing him up, states there's no reason they can't all live in peace. And doubling down on his
I'm willing to admit your power was indeed impressive. It may even possibly have surpassed my own.
Alright, let's try to get this W.
Can you hear me? It's Trunks. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Once I revert to an egg, I must bury myself underground for 3 years. There my form matures.
I don't even know.
Flying Nimbus!
This guy must be this kid over here. Yeah. We start finding some keys
You
quick.
found a power key.
There we
Go
go.
slot it.
Thanks.
Once I
Flying
revert
Nimbus!
to an egg, I must bury myself underground for 3 years. There my form matures.
That's a new power key. Place it now.
They're jumping a larva for him.
Once I revert to
Flying
an egg,
Nimbus!
I must bury myself underground for 3 years. There my form matures.
Holy hell.
You're done!
You know what to do with that key.
Transforming? Shit. Level 1.
Flying Nimbus!
You got all the keys though.
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
They set this B key in time, we can jump like the time machine.
Where am I? Thanks.
Yes,
The
those
startup
going
system
first
for the
in,
super
or
time machine is ready. Head there now.
I need one more key.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
I get my dragon chain back in like 20 seconds.
Oh man.
Good now.
You're done!
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Oh man, you got us. No! Guys, don't let him get me. I still have a final dragon change and one stun left. Someone can save me. I might be able to clutch it.
I owe you one. Flying Nimbus!
Let's go see the soda over here.
Well done.
We're not gonna get no supplies because he's not level 3.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Rushing in.
Cocky little worm!
God.
Careful!
Move! Oh, we just missed. Bro, we almost had that. We almost had that.
You've got to be kidding me!
Oh, save me.
Ally down.
You're good to go!
I owe you one.
Watch out for enemies. Blind ally needs your help. Don't know what danger.
Lost, bro. It was a close match. You couldn't find that last Dragon Ball. Close. It was a fun match. GG's team.
Hates Phallus? Tien chimes. He, for one, would actually be glad to have their help in case they ever need assistance
Yeah,
against
it was
Vegeta.
insane, bro.
As our hero
We're close.
approaches him, admitting it was
Dodge
an
my
awesome fight,
Kamehameha
asking if
and
they can have a
give me a
rematch
vanish
tomorrow.
kick.
He was still
Last
a bit
second.
apprehensive.
You got lucky.
Goku gives him a slap on the
I
back.
was going in for that
Giggling,
win,
he's happy
bro.
they're all
I was
friends now.
going in for
Though
that win.
18 warns he not push it. And 16 remarks he will still kill Goku. Eventually.
I did
And
hit him
so
with
the
the
cyborgs
Gogo
would
gun,
stick
but
around.
at the same time, they were
17
beating him
making
up,
the perfect
so
sparring
it
partner for
didn't- it
Goku
wasn't
and
effective.
Vegeta. It wouldn't take long for them to
wasted
become
it.
a part of everyday life. The more time passed, the closer they got. And naturally, the day arrived when Goku would actually surpass his newest training partner, standing victorious. The Saiyan can't help but laugh at how jealous Vegeta will be when he finds out. Who's busy finding out something else at the moment. Krillin and 18 falling for each other as they would in our realm. The situation here resolved, Trunks decided to head on home. But the cyborgs of the future still being much stronger than himself, and their hearts too corrupted to ever change. He would easily defeat them with his mother's remote. And devastatingly, as he was about to venture back to see his friends once more, Cell caught him by surprise, killing him. The biological android stealing the time machine for himself, but going a bit further into the past than Trunks planned to. Because so, he created yet another timeline, but that's a story we already know. Landing on Earth, the Frost Demons find themselves one step closer to getting their revenge. King Cold questions his son if he really wants to wait for the Super Saiyan, as it's going to take at least another 3 hours. But the sadistic Frieza chorts, of course he does. And while they wait, they can kill all his little human friends before he arrives. Not far away, Vegeta must confess something to our heroes. This is undoubtedly the end of their planet, when the Emperor commands his underlings go span out and kill all Earthlings. Spotting his henchmen flying overhead, Piccolo calls out the invasion has begun. The Prince only scoffing how typical it is for the tyrant to send his grunts to do all the legwork. Regardless, they have to find a way to stop Frieza's army, all while using as little energy as possible as to not draw attention. The Z-Fighters zipping into action. Only Bulma, Puar, and Vegeta remain. Venturing far to the north, a few soldiers spot a town at last, as one is struck by what appears to be a large rock. Below, Krillin and Gohan stand before him, ready to defend all nearby innocents. Though underestimating the pair, the apparent leader taunts, "Well, well, what do we have here?" To the west, one henchman questions what the average power of a human is, the other merely sighing, "Very low." And to the south. What's happening? I'm not detecting anybody. Finally, the east. A few land in the middle of a crowded area, but Yamcha arrives at the same time. But even while being heroic, he manages to pull him, exerting himself a bit too much. Gohan senses his power. Vegeta fuming that idiot just blew their element of surprise. Bulma brings up a fair point, and at least he's doing something. Reporting back to his master, a soldier alerts they've lost touch with all forces. They've all simply vanished, noting they spotted powers of over 5,000, but only popping up on the scouter for a very short moment. Knowing they've been found out, Tien and Piccolo rush back, the Namekian volunteering to hold him off as long as he can, apparently learning nothing in his death against the Saiyans, urging Tien to regroup with the others and not make his presence known. The Frost Demons rise into the air, as Frieza is aghast to see Piccolo here. All the Z-Fighters together as planned. Tien is furious Piccolo is going to be the one to pay for their screw-up, as something else catches Gohan's attention. Goku! His father is returning home! Frieza telling this to Piccolo, and the Namek telepathically relaying it to the boy. Krillin excitedly spouting this changes everything. Now they only need to hold out long enough for him to arrive. Predictably overpowering Piccolo with ease. Frieza goes to deliver the finishing blow, when Gohan screams for his mentor, but showcasing the same result. The tyrant growls the pair can die together, when Goku arrives, commanding Frieza stop. Amazed to see his adversary on this world so soon, the Saiyan taunts he attack him first, if he dares. Not hesitating to do so. The Emperor barks Goku is no match for him anymore, his father believing he's dead already. Frieza knows there's no way a single blast would be enough. Tightening his hold on Gohan, screaming for Earth-Zero to show himself, or he'll start the slaughter by killing this child. Bastard! Yamcha of all fighters charges the invader, with tears in his eyes. Though his foe is able to dodge, this causes him to release his hold on Gohan. Reaching out, he calls out once more for Goku to show himself, if he's not here on the count of 3. Interrupting, Gohan coughs Frieza must really be stupid, as that wasn't his father he just saw. It was their shape-shifting friend Puar, and that attack undoubtedly did kill him. Not believing the kid, the demon screams he's lying, and he will kill them all. A beam coming out of nowhere, stopping Frieza in his tracks. Even King Cold wonders who that could have been. This time, the real Goku. His friends surrounding him with elation. He apologizes for being late, feeling they were managing quite well for themselves at first, so he wasn't sure if he should step in or not. But not everyone is happy to see him. The Space Lord growling at him, amiss how he managed to get here so soon. At any rate, he can still deliver on that desolation he promised, but not willing to let happen to Earth what he did to Namek. Resurrection effing Frieza. Goku kills him with a single Kamehameha. Vegeta most surprised at this. Stepping towards the action, Tien isn't having any of his cowardice, calling him out for only showing up when the battle is already over. Though the prince sees things differently, confused why any of them would expect him to throw his life away, fighting alongside weaklings, knowing there is no chance at victory without Kakarot here, adding he's not willing to die before defeating the legendary Super Saiyan himself. While this chatter ensues, Cold begins to look a little off. Goku calls out to him, informing he has nothing against him, only Frieza, and he'd be best to get back in his ship and forget about this planet and its inhabitants. Powering up and shouting that isn't going to happen. Cold takes on his assault form, Vegeta grunting in terror what a fool Kakarot is, who only stares on in silence. Even though being knocked to the ground, Gohan proclaims his faith in his father, sensing he's much stronger than he was on Namek. Which may be the case, but he still appears to be struggling early on. Krillin and Piccolo feeling pessimistic, knowing here and now, this monster is stronger than Goku, and he still has one more transformation up his sleeve in case this isn't enough. Tien baffled how a single being could house this much energy. Pinning Goku to the ground and relieving him of his Super Saiyan form. Cold gazes down at his foe, laughing how pathetic he is. We have to help him! Earth-Zero's powerless against the might of the Frost Demon, when one of its villains screams his pitiful excuse for a king is going to die at the hands of a Saiyan, just like his feeble son. Knowing he doesn't have the power to destroy Cold, but he won't be able to escape this planet's explosion. Krillin shouts that's even worse than outright losing to the invader, easily deflecting the blast. Vegeta can't believe he sent it back without breaking a sweat. Panning again to Krillin, he can't believe the irony of King Cold saving the Earth. Furious with the prince, Piccolo realizes that last attack may have actually scared him, gaining hope they can take him down, asking if he remembers their fight against Raditz, which causes Goku to let out a smirk, only hoping this time it ends a little more in his favor. Without having to say anything further, he agrees to buy the Namek a little time, who adds he will idiotically yell like Vegeta did, so Cold shouldn't see it coming. Powering back up, this fight isn't over. Angrily asking if Goku just plans to keep running away. He mocks our hero, questioning if he really thought he wouldn't notice his friend with his fingers to his head charging an attack. But it's actually Tien he's referring to. Blocking the technique, he chorts, "Was that supposed to hurt?" Managing to stave off Piccolo, the king grits his teeth through the pain. Goku once again commanding he leave, as it's clear he's lost this fight. Staggering towards him, Cold stutters he will never retreat, not until he kills every last one of them. Arguing he's no longer in a position to threaten anyone, Goku insists he should consider himself lucky to be alive. You're so naive, Kakarot! Taking his opportunity to blast the king head on. This time, Vegeta succeeds, reiterating what he shouted before. Death at the hands of a Saiyan. Condemning the prince for his actions. Piccolo has to actually stand up for Vegeta on this one, agreeing he indeed can be quite naive. Even Yamcha on his side. After all, he probably would just come back mechanized and ready for revenge. But no matter how many choose to side with logic, Gohan is merely happy to have his father back, embracing him and joyfully expressing how much he and Chi-Chi missed him. Remembering his wife is a thing, he resolves to head home, putting his fingers to his forehead about to show off instant transmission for the first time. Bulma comes barreling towards him, screaming to know what took him so long to get here. She demands he explain everything this instant, who promises to do so, just as soon as she stops yelling. And while he may not have been the MVP in the fight against Cold, Goku nonetheless arrives yet again at the very last moment, saving his friends. But how many more times would he manage to do so? The androids rain hellfire on a defenseless city. As in the air, Gohan peers in on the destruction, knowing he can't defeat him. But suddenly, he senses an unfamiliar key. Finding the source, he's grateful he decided to suppress his own energy, believing this man to be an alien soldier. Surely it couldn't be one of Frieza's men. But no, it's Pui Pui. Gohan doesn't want to leave the androids, but needs to know what this guy's up to. Leading Earth's hero far away, we find ourselves in a small countryside village, where several residents have been slaughtered. Women, children, no one spared. Landing, it's even worse than he thought, but nearby, Pui Pui heads towards an active ship. Throwing his energy drainer, Babidi shouts,
That's all the power you could find me!
Being a bit of a change of pace for Gohan, he's confused why the wizard isn't happy there are so few warriors to resist here. Then, senses an ungodly key signature. While Dabur on his own is a force to be reckoned with, he informs,
I found its master!
Holding Majin Buu's cocoon. Happy to see his minion after what felt like forever, the villain grows concerned, as there clearly isn't enough energy on this planet to hatch the creature, resolving to reluctantly travel to another world. Though the Demon King warns not to judge a book by its cover. Even Pui Pui chimes in, mentioning a couple of Earthlings he'd spotted earlier. They had no energy at all themselves, but the blasts they were firing generated 250 killies. Astonishing Babidi, deciding not to leave the planet after all, he instructs Dabura to get the egg to the ship. When Gohan calls towards him, growling, leaving this planet was actually the best choice they had, urging they get in that spacecraft and leave this world. Elated at such a surprise, Dabura sees the power lingering inside our hero. Playing the part, Babidi waves goodbye as he promises they'll leave. Gohan's surprised they'd actually do such a thing, as Dabura bids farewell. Yep, just a trick of course. The Earthling amazed he's even faster than the cyborgs. It seems the plan for the demon is to merely hold Gohan while they absorb his power. Somehow able to wriggle free with an explosion of energy. The Demon Lord praises his enemy for having the ability to hide his power well, admitting he let his guard down, as the Half-Saiyan himself feels the same. It's not just everyone who can get the drop on him like that.
I'm not everyone. None can compete with the Lord of Darkness.
Dodging the spit, Gohan believes his adversary is just being a dirty fighter, but little does he know. Finally taking Piccolo's advice to heart, saved his skin this time around. As the loogie hits Pui Pui, he turns to stone.
What do you think you're doing, you idiots?
Yes, you're right, Master.
With a cocky smirk, Dabura insists our hero should thank his master. Because of him, his death will be postponed. And if he wants them to leave, he better follow the demon inside the ship. Not knowing if this is a bluff or another trick, Gohan does know he can't allow them to stay on the planet. Cautiously entering the spacecraft, the warrior takes a look around. Coming to a door, he barks that he knows they're watching him, and if they don't open this door, he'll simply destroy it. With our antagonist, Babidi scolds the Demon Lord, not for turning Pui Pui into a statue, but for almost doing so to their power source. They won't be able to get a drop of energy from a stupid rock.
Sorry, Master.
You've told me he's quite strong. So, I've sent them to a realm where he will have the advantage.
Gohan panically wonders where he is and what has happened, as Yakon lurks in the shadows, explaining they've been sent to his planet, one drenched in darkness, the perfect environment for him to seek his next victim. Then someone says,
So you're back, little brother?
Apparently, Yakon has a sibling named Merkit, and pleads they must spare this one from death for now, and merely neutralize him for the master. And not under Babidi's control, Merkit sneers.
Still a slave to that worm. Say, the light from your prey is magnificent. Why don't we share it instead?
Which causes Gohan to ponder what they mean by sharing his light. The two continue to squabble, as Yakon urges he cannot do such a thing, Merkit pressing.
You would prefer to share this wonder with the stinking midget instead of your own sister?
And, just like myself, Gohan is shocked to find out this thing is a girl, before taking control over the situation, mocking, "Your sister's right, you know. Family comes first." With sinister eyes and a drooling mouth, the creature bellows.
Well said! Come to Merkit, little dear!
Quickly taking a chomp out of the light, the other Enkoku Saijin darts over, demanding she stop, but his sister brushes him off, quipping he'd keep his words for that dwarf in the petticoat. Though, unknown to her, a certain gown-adorned little person is listening in very closely, and thinks he has a resolution for this family conflict. Instantly, Merkit falls under the control of the wizard. Now is when Gohan realizes these warriors are actually slaves to Babidi, not willing servants. Wondering what he should do, gaining a little distance, he thinks back to Vegeta's advice, believing he was right. He himself is too soft and needs to be ruthless. Looking up at the halfling, they snark how stupid Gohan is. Having moved so far away, surely he can no longer see him. But little do they know, our hero doesn't need his eyes to win a battle. Laughing he missed, Gohan assures he didn't, and that was merely a warning. Illuminating the area, it seems he may still be on the ship in some capacity after all. Shouting out to the villain, he demands to be brought back, or he'll destroy this entire vessel. Calling the Saiyan a fool, he scoffs he'll be stuck here forever in this world if he does such a thing. Bluffing, he replies that he's a Saiyan, and it won't be hard to find his way back, giving him to the count of 3. But inside his head, he really hopes Babidi doesn't know a thing about Saiyans. But lucky for him, it works. And set on the idea of taking Vegeta's advice, he's going to be as ruthless as possible in getting rid of these guys. Running amok, Babidi's aghast he couldn't take control of this so-called Saiyan, unable to fathom he must be pure of heart. Shifting his head, He questions Dabura if he's finished with his punishment. In developing bags under his eyes, he informs he has, and that punishment was giving his own energy to the cocoon. Though appearing pale in the face, the wizard commands he go and get rid of this guy, and if he tries to use a stone technique again, the penalty will be twice as harsh. Facing Gohan only seconds later, he takes note. The demon seems far weaker and slower than before, but still pretty tough. Taking down the vastly deluded Dabura, Babidi believes he has one final plan, moving behind his minion to position him as a shield. Narrowing his eyes, Gohan barks he'll get rid of them himself, spaceship and all, as they have no reason to stay in this world. But playing to the Earthling's weakness, the wizard presses if he attacks, Dabura will die, and surely such a pure heart can never strike a wounded man while he's helpless. Proving the villain's plan to contain some fallacies, he struggles to get to his feet, wondering how he could do such a thing. But the egg appears undamaged. Babidi cackles no one can damage Boo's cocoon, as his power exceeds imagination. Casting a spell, he attempts to unleash the Majin on the universe, believing the energy he's gathered to be enough for his resurrection. As it splits open, the wizard calls for Boo to answer, but only smoke emerges, causing Gohan to slightly retch at the smell of rotten food and candy, strangely enough. With his last-ditch effort in vain, Babidi baffles at the situation, screaming in fury and frustration. His plan to rule the universe has been all for naught. Knowing his father would spare the life of this miserable creature, Piccolo and Vegeta would have blasted him into oblivion. And years of fighting the cyborgs have given Gohan a different perspective on what it means to be a hero. Proving once again, he is indeed worthy to succeed his father, saving the Earth and entire universe without even knowing it. A few days later,
Babidi's ship was seen going to Earth. What?
in Universe 12, age 790, Trunks hovers over a mountain range, spotting a manhole, seemingly in deep thought. He suddenly shouts his hatred for this place. Descending, we find him in Jiro's lab, asking aloud, "So, where are you?" Quickly turning to discover Android 16, exactly what he came for. A few days pass, and Trunks' time still lies in ruin. Within Capsule Corps, Bulma appears to have been working hard on the android. Finished with the testing, they go to switch him on, and with the click of a few buttons. Cautiously, Trunks beckons. 16? Who calmly responds,
Yes.
First things first being to let the robot know Son Goku died a long time ago, causing a short silence in 16, before muttering,
Okay.
Still guarded, he explains, from what he understands, 16 is a kind creature and wants to protect the Earth and innocent beings, questioning if that's correct and applies to humans, which, with a smile, he confirms it indeed does, and having one last thing to prove. Powering up, the time traveler makes sure the android can sense his energy and how superior it is to his own. So if they were to come to blows, he knows who would win, which the android acknowledges, even going as far to admit Jiro never fathomed such power, which Trunks takes pride in. Powering down, he makes an offer. If he and his mother repair him, he will devote his existence to helping humanity rebuild itself, checking to see if that's okay. And 16 actually finds great joy in knowing he can aid the planet, but reaffirming, if you were to hurt anyone in any way, he will not hesitate to destroy them, just like he did to 17 and 18. With everything crystal clear, Trunks' timeline begins to look brighter and brighter. Bulma, Trunks, and the survivors of the android's decimation would gain a powerful and ironic ally that day. Having it been the androids and scientists to start the destruction of the world, it would now be the same that seek to put it back together.
In Universe 12, West City, age 794, or 27 years after the androids first appeared.
Today will be another good day for the Earth. With the androids being vanquished for so many years, it is now estimated that over 85% of the Earth's infrastructures have been restored. And with the population slowly coming back as well, a new king shall be elected to govern us in the upcoming days.
Breathing easy at the sound of this broadcast, Bulma feels that at long last, things are truly starting to feel like old times. Looking over at a shelf of photos from another age, she just knows that Gohan and Goku are looking down on them from paradise and smiling. And Vegeta too. Surely he's looking up with pride from the darkest, hottest, most skin-boiling pit of hell, knowing that his son is a hero. She just wishes he could see him in person as he is now. As presumably the front door opens, the scientist greets whoever it is with a smile. Looks like someone had an eventful morning. Entering. Trunks tells how that was the first time in weeks he's been able to train extensively. It's getting pretty rare nowadays. Prompting his mother to comment that she bets rebuilding this world takes both leadership and brawn. The former surely thanks to herself, although he does have both in abundance. She hasn't made breakfast yet, so she'll start on that now. Trunks should expect it to be ready in about half an hour. He should hit the showers in the meantime. Pausing. She has a good point. It's probably a good idea to clean himself up. But first, he wanted to ask one thing. Curious, she questions what that is. In a few hours, he'll have someone coming over to hang out with. He just wanted to give her a heads up in case she was planning anything for him this afternoon. Given the look on his face, this isn't just someone. Giving Bulma the perfect opportunity to prod her spawn like the spawn prodder she is. With a big smile, she inquires if her boy's bringing his girlfriend over.
Make me immortal! Let the carnival of terror begin.
Let's try to get the story.
Give me the Dragon Balls.
What are those?
If you do not have them, then I have no need for them. Give me the Dragon Balls.
What are those?
Very well then.
What's up, homie?
Give me the Dragon Balls.
Damn, these guys are so annoying, bro.
You won't be able to defeat me once I torn you into a million little pieces.
See you later. Minimum damage.
Go!
Too shabby.
Whoa.
No, not like this.
Those little bats? Annoying. One more kill when you get a level 3. Civilians are gone. Another dragon here? I don't know why these guys just left the creeps here. I see. You know, the one going in this cave right here, and someone right there. I think all the civilians are gone. I just can set the D and E key, then we can start. Got a few hits.
We're in trouble here!
Lost them.
I will not tolerate failure! You won't get away with this!
Oop, just got it.
Now, it shall be done. I will grant your wish.
Give us the pay!
Hey. Skip the road before. Play with me. Stole my Dragon Ball.
I made you a promise, didn't I? I said you would experience a dread like no other.
This one left. Oh, he escaped. When there's only 3 people left, the escape time machine comes.
You're no match for me!
Still one. You got the WT? Thank you for the 199. T says the GOAT. Appreciate it, homie. Thank you for the support. Much love.
Well, she bellows out with laughter at her own antics. Trunks shouts that this is serious. He hasn't gotten to see her in over 2 weeks. As we avoid any innuendos this could suggest, the scientist promises to be on her best behavior. She won't bother them in the slightest. Trunks continues. As for Android 16, he should be helping out the International Committee in making. When they're interrupted by the entire building beginning to rumble. Though it could easily be mistaken for more tragedy for our heroes, this is actually the moment that the Vargas would show up in this universe. Continuing to tear through the sky of West City, one of the Namekians has to ask if they should really be going this fast. But of course, this is the best way to gain the attention of those who they seek. Their mission is to gather warriors, and this little spectacle will surely get them excited for what they have to offer. In doing just that, they've fully gotten the attention of the planet's most powerful fighter. It may feel like an earthquake, but Trunks senses distinct new energies outside, and they're definitely not human. He demands that his mother stay here and not leave unless he tells her. Obviously after the chaos that the androids brought.
He's not willing to take any chances. The ship landing in front of him. He wonders what an alien spaceship is doing here of all times and places. Just how they have for every other universe, the Vargas politely greet him, further stating that he's definitely the one they're seeking. And if that's so, Trunks just wants to know who they are and what they want. At the same time, he wonders what Namekians are doing here. He never thought he'd see them on Earth again. The same Vargas before explains their race, and how they've come from a universe parallel to this one. They use their technology to cross over to this plane of existence. Assuming he doesn't already know, the Namecs also explain their presence in assisting the Vargas for a grand spectacle that's never been seen before in all the universes. But another universe.
Found another match.
Our
Quick.
hero believes he's familiar with
2
this.
minutes.
They mean time travel.
Should start in 2 minutes, guys.
Though not quite. There isn't just one universe, but many of them. Each one follows its own path, but with different situations and choices. They weren't aware of any possibilities of time dilations. Meaning Big Brain Bulma discovered something even the Vargas couldn't. Continuing, to their knowledge after countless hours of testing, they are the only ones to discover multiversal travel. With such a unique gift,
I barely see
they
any
decided to
Z1
host a
players
tournament of epic
when it
proportions
comes
to reflect
to
this.
survivors.
The other
Mostly
Namekian
everyone's in
explains
S.
that the Vargas contacted the highest gods, the Kaioshin, for permission. Once granted, they contacted them for usage of the Dragon Balls. They agreed, and the winner will ultimately be allowed to make 3 wishes of their choosing. But 3 wishes! Naturally, this Trunks lives in a world without Dragon Balls. This is almost unbelievable. For so long, he and his mother have not been able to reach Planet Namek due to the destruction caused by the androids. But now, hope is clearer than ever. They can fix the infrastructures, restore the planet, or even revive those who have been killed. Everyone murdered can finally come back. He'll finally get to see Master Gohan again, or even his father. Not Goku though, he'll still be deader than dirt. That'll show him for dying of natural causes. The visitors elaborate that anyone who falls victim to mortality will be revived by other sets of Dragon Balls, and the possibility of having a good challenge shall become reality from these matches. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and they just want to know if he's interested or not. However, this is something he needs to think about. If they can give him a couple hours, he needs to consult with some trusted companions.
I'm bored.
Alright, let's try to get another W. As long as we can keep them to level 2, while the time machine's up, we're good. Everyone just has to do their part.
Can you hear me?
Flying
It's Trunks.
Nimbus!
I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Once I revert to an egg, I must bury myself underground for 3 years. There my form matures.
Before. Alright, so we got a drag over there. Let's go.
You found a power key. Go slot it.
People hunting.
Great. You know what to do with that key.
Got that civilian. I don't know if that guy has a dragon radar as well. Looks like it.
That's a new power key. Place
That
it
was
now.
lucky.
Great. You know what to do with that key.
Here's the... We didn't plant no keys yet.
Thanks.
So I'll go to E and then hit the
An
D.
ally needs your help. You don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Well, let's plant this right now.
Well, welcome.
Fuck, that was not good.
Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick.
Flying Nimbus!
I think that guy lost the Dragon Balls too. I think anyone's planting that C key. But we still have all players.
Flying Nimbus!
That guy's sacrifice. Alright, so how the last two. Unfortunately, I'm only level 2, so I can't play them.
They got away.
That's the last two. Fuck it. Sacrifice for the team.
You've got all 7 Dragon Balls. Summon Shenron at the altar.
Flying Nimbus! Stay calm.
Come on, it's such a
Access the
key though.
startup system from the central area. Just a little more to go, then you're done.
I think we got it.
Now, consider
Lost my dragon chain. We got away. I lost my dragon change though.
The startup system is under attack. Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need to. Got it?
Stay calm.
The startup system is under attack. It's dangerous, so tread carefully if you want to get closer.
After going last minute. So I should look for a shield.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them. An ally needs your help. You don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. I'll send some supplies to help. Make good use of them.
I have no shield.
Holy hell.
Ally down! If you
No
intend to
soul.
rescue them, watch out for enemies.
My level 4 is still strong. I'll have to get my dragon chain back. I do have couple seconds.
An ally needs your help. You don't know what danger awaits. Think
hell.
before rushing in.
You're done!
Let's go. Play smart, man.
No one does this to me.
W team.
Companions of his. Then he will have an answer for them.
The ITV played good.
Understanding, they inform him that they'll be right here when he's decided.
That's what I need. I need some good
And
teammates,
so,
man.
about 2 hours pass by.
Everyone did their part.
Trunks, Bulma, and 16 conspire outside of Capsule Corp. Bulma has to admit that this tournament sounds like it could be the best thing to ever happen to them. Goku would be drooling if he were still around to see this. And if this tournament is the real deal, Trunks believes there's a good chance he may even get to see their friends from the past. It's been about 10 years since they last saw each other. His mother adds that it would do him some good to see Vegeta again. Hopefully, his girlfriend will be okay with him being gone for so long, especially since he just canceled on her at the last minute. But a red-faced Trunks shouts that she understands, and for her to stop teasing him about it. 16 turns to the Celestial visitors to question just how many universes will be attending this event. Surely it can't be too many. To be precise, they're planning to bring 20 universes to this event. So far, 11 are already on tournament grounds. This will be the 12th universe that they've discovered and invited for participation. As the android seems to be in deep thought for a moment, the scientist has to ask if he's decided whether to join or not. Given the considerations, 16 concludes that there will be a small chance that Goku, or an optimal version of which, will be attending. This alone makes participation worth it. So his answer is yes, he will be joining. A little strange that Bulma never found a way to disable this feature. She finds it odd that even after all these years, his obsession with Goku still remains strong. Regardless, she knows that he'll behave. His good nature can overpower his programming any day of the week. She has complete faith he won't do anything sinister. With that, the Varga inquires the group if they're ready to join. And with the obvious answer, Trunks beckons their guests to lead the way. Before boarding the ship, he makes sure his mother's positive that she doesn't want to join him. She'll be safe with him and 16. But with the two of them gone, somebody needs to stay behind and help with the leadership around here. He doesn't need to worry. She can defend herself. Just make her proud by kicking some butt in the tournament. Receiving this confirmation, Trunks will join his robot friend on the ship. The pilot alerts all on board to prepare for liftoff. As Trunks lets it sink in that for the first time in ages, his Saiyan blood is growing restless. The challenges he'll be facing will truly be amazing, and he can only hope that his father will be there. Bulma sees them off from Capsule Corp. This could just be the miracle they need to truly return their timeline back to normal. Landing in what is clearly the employee-only parking lot, the pair are taken to the pathway which will bring them to the arena. They can feel free to wander around. They shouldn't be surprised if certain participants don't recognize them. Everybody comes from different worlds. Some differ only by a small detail, and others are unrecognizable to the reality that they know. Getting a look at the enormous stadium and the crowd in attendance. They weren't kidding. This place is huge and teeming with life. It also seems that the spaces to the right is where the new competitors will eventually show up. To their left, it's already full with fighters. 16 scanners are picking up on some big powers. I'm about to do some shit. To Trunks, this is mind-boggling. One look and it's obvious that many here are the real deal. That guy over there, referring to Dabura, he's comparable to Cell once he absorbed 18. To think that there are some who have reached that threshold. Simultaneously, the wizard notes that they finally have some new guests, inquiring the King of Demons how strong he thinks they are. Who chuckles that the swordsman power is laughable. His own sister could crush him easily. Maybe you're referring to a certain time traveler? The tall one, he can't sense, but he doesn't seem like much. They're both challengers who shouldn't concern them. First getting a glimpse of his father from the old way Saiyans, even if a bit scruffy. Without a doubt, his dad is within that group. Seems like the Saiyan race still lives on elsewhere, even though a bit primitive. When the android points out someone with a big power is coming from just over there. Revealing Bojack and his gang, a group that Trunks is already familiar with. However, it was before 16 was relevant in this timeline. He himself had never encountered the pirate, but remembers stories told by Trunks, who elaborates that he's a despicable alien pirate who tried to invade Earth during his last trip to the past. He's pure evil. Alongside Cell and Broly, he's one of the worst threats he's ever faced. His power makes 17 and 18 in their prime seem like ants. Don't the organizers understand who they brought to this place? That monster has no heart and will enslave everyone if given the opportunity. Overhearing the squabble, Zenbu turns to notice Trunks, one of the few Z fighters he never got the chance to absorb. Or at least not this version. Goku and the others inside of him are confirming that this is the one from the future. The boy has grown, which makes the Majin wonder how strong he has become. And that person next to him, he is 16. Interesting. The robot still lives on in this world. He can't help but ponder if that's the exact same Trunks who came to his own universe 27 years ago. By mathematical deduction, there's an infinite number of universes, which makes it improbable. Eventually, he will find his answers nonetheless. Either way, he's happy to see that a true Super Saiyan has at last debuted among the public. It's been 20 years since he last faced one, and knowing his luck, more besides this boy shall begin appearing in due time. And speak of the devil, it appears that things shall be getting a bit more interesting from here on out. Back with Trunks, he mentions that they can't afford to drop their guard at any given moment. Who knows what or who is coming next? Just as he hears a very familiar voice, Emperor Vegeta spouts out, "So these are the tournament's grounds. What a piece of rushed, low-quality trash!" Seeing his father adored in royal garb, alongside Goku and two Saiyans he's never seen before. What will Trunks make of the destined version of Vegeta that was never to be in our universe? And how will Vegeta feel about the son he never had? Hearing that purple-haired boy say something, the brash Emperor turns to rudely inquire if he said something to him. Though without any current interest in getting to know him, he meekly remarks, "No, sir," causing the former to scoff that's what he thought. Raditz comments to his little brother that it looks like he's got some competition on who can irritate Vegeta the fastest. Though the feral version of our hero hisses that he can go screw himself. He'll beat everyone's bottom here if he has to. He bows to no man, including Vegeta. Prompting the Emperor to interrupt, he informs the group that they should make a good impression among these universes. So if he finds any of them acting like a complete clown and making them look ridiculous, say like not showing proper respect to their rightful leader, for instance. Immortal or not, he himself is still dozens of times stronger than them, speaking to Kakarot in particular as he's the real one with behavioral issues. He better not think for a second that he won't pulverize him the instant he embarrasses him. He has no qualms about scattering his ashes here. Though with a bigger mouth than brain. Kakarot snarls that Vegeta thinks he's stronger. They can settle. But before getting the next sentence out, Raditz speaks over him and shouts that Kakarot humbly apologizes for his rude behavior, begging he be forgiven, forcing him to bow. The Emperor utters that was a wise move of the low-level warrior. Raditz better be sure to keep his leash close, or he knows what'll happen. As their leader walks off, the older of Bardock's sons thanks him for being so understanding. They have taken his words to heart. However, the fury still burns in Kakarot's stomach. He vows that one day, Vegeta will die. Why does stupid Raditz always have to get in the way of his vengeance? Nonetheless, soon, he shall dance over his skull. Mark his words. Spectating the entire confrontation, Trunks thinks that this version of his father is even darker than the one he met in the past before he changed for the better. 16 notes that his scanners are picking up an uneasy power within him. He believes it'd be wise to steer clear. Although... he finally found a Goku that's within his acceptable thresholds. He hopes to terminate him once and for all. With a bead of sweat, the half Saiyan figures at least he'll finally be able to get his wish. His mind really elsewhere. He has a bad feeling about all of this. First Bojack, and now an evil version of his father with no redeeming qualities. Just how messed up are the other universes? A few hours pass as the other contestants are rounded up. Coldly piercing through a dicey cut of villain from a greater slice of life. Trunks can't help but scowl that since they arrived, they act like they own the place. He doesn't
What's up,
recognize
Travis?
the
How you doing?
soldiers, but Frieza and his family clearly rule that universe. He feels sorry for those forced to be in servitude to those creatures. His companion replies that in their own world, Goku killed them all when they invaded Earth. But when he went back to the past, Trunks took him out himself. Which is correct. Though the one behind Frieza and King Cold, he doesn't recognize. He assumes he also died in their universe somehow. Or at least he hopes so. But at least there's one universe where hope does live on. Those guys over there. He saw them in photos and was told stories about their courage. Revealing Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, Some Guy, and Videl. And actually, after looking it up, and this is lifted directly from the Dragon Ball Multiverse fandom page, linked below. At some point, Yamcha is augmented into a cyborg by Dr. Gero. It was he who was given the designation of Artificial Human number 17. He was likely selected instead of Lapis and Lazuli, who became Artificial Humans 17 and 18 in the standard Dragon Ball timeline. Gero's motivation for creating the Artificial Humans in Universe 9 is currently unknown. Son Goku never arrived on Earth. Henceforth, he could have never destroyed the Red Ribbon Army. It's also unknown if any iteration of Android 18 exists in this universe, whether it be Lazuli or somebody else. It could very well be possible Yamcha is the only one converted into a cyborg by Gero. As such, it's unknown who, if anyone, destroyed the Red Ribbon Army, fueling Gero's desire for revenge. Or maybe, Gero's not a bad guy at all here. And while we're talking about these folks and to dive even deeper into the lore, it was confirmed in the Dragon Ball Multiverse novel series that Tien and Krillin did die at some point. Because so, they were able to train under King Kai and learn the Kaioken. Also, this is Bulma, and this is Trunks, the spawn of her and Yamcha, and is married to Videl. Lore peddling aside, Trunks noticed this before I even turned the page. He states that there's a version of himself and his mother there. He looks different from himself, but it's definitely him. Yet again, scanning with the scanners, 16 hypothesizes that there's about a 50% difference, most likely different fathers. Which makes sense. He's likely fully human. As the robot's tone quickly turns serious, and asking what's wrong. In the shadows, we can make an assumption. "17 utters to his sister that it looks like those bird people weren't lying. There's definitely more humans left than they realized. Who replies that now they can definitely have more fun than before. Furious! It can't be! Those monsters are alive and here too? Though turning not to Trunks, but the Emperor Saiyan. 18 laughs if it isn't Vegeta again, and looks like he's still a shrimp she sees. Causing him to tersely question just who the heck this woman is. She best mind her own business if she knows what's good for her. Which only encourages her to continue her chortles and seeing he's still the same smug idiot from their world. It takes her back a bit. Stroking her hair, she smirks to the little man that they killed him for giggles. They were nothing to them, even when he tried copying her by turning blonde. A statement that gets his attention. He now wonders just who these two disrespectful individuals are. They know his name. And what she means by blonde. Do they mean Super Saiyan? There's no way they could know so much. Unless... With a new voice cackles out with laughter from the Saiyan universe. Kakarot howls that he never thought he would see two punks addressing their dear prince like this. It's honestly too funny. But with one look, he can tell that they are human somehow. Which means he himself needs to kill him. 17 finally piping up. He smiles. Well, look at this. Their long-awaited Goku. He's definitely a bit different based on their data, but worthy to die all the same. At last, they can finally get rid of their programming once they end this miserable fool's life. But who cares about the tournament? Kakarot is fine with teaching these little brats some manners here and now. Again, his brother in tow demanding he waits. As something appears to get the attention of everyone in attendance. Boo remarks that it seems tensions have finally started to run high among those familiar with each other, though the power everyone feels isn't Vegito or Gaster anyone. But Trunks letting his anger swell over at the sight of the androids. Those murderous pigs! The mere thought they even breathe, knowing what they've done, is an injustice he cannot live with. "16 stops him. He recommends his counterpart let it go and not make a scene. Since this is a tournament, he may have a shot in the ring. Resolving to let his benevolence win. He's right. This little display of power does manage to pique the interest of those nearby. Bujin thinks he recognizes that guy. He's the one who killed Gokua. Or Gakua. The dub isn't being Koku. Back in their own universe. Zangia backs this up. He seems to be just as strong as ever. Of course, Bojack looks at him as just another small fry. If they killed him in their universe, they can surely do it again. He's not a threat to them. When Vegeta, the Emperor one, finally realizes something. There's no doubt about it. That boy has Saiyan blood coursing through his veins. He's a Super Saiyan. But no Saiyan has such colorful features, referring to his hair and eyes, of course. So he must be mixed race. But who are his parents? Vegeta likely speculates that he would know who either a Saiyan mother or father are, given that there are so few of their kind left in this universe. Really poking the bear. The androids decide to take a hop and skip to offer a visit to dear old Trunks. They comment how they've been searching for him for years. So this is where he's been hiding all this time. And it seems like he's trained a bit. But still, he's nothing compared to them. Which likely isn't the case. Trunks barks that the two of them are scum. Just them existing and having to share the same oxygen as them makes him want to vomit. They better be warned here and now. If they take another step, the organizers won't be able to save them from his wrath. 18 giggles, so much macho talk coming from a pretty boy. He doesn't need to worry. They'll kill him in due time just as they did to his mother, prompting a quick interruption from 16. He demands that both of them leave now. They have overstayed their welcome. He and Trunks want nothing to do with them. Is that clear? Getting a load of this guy, 17 states that it appears Trunks managed to make a friend. He's pretty tall, and he doesn't look entirely human. Who is he? Who simply tells he's a creation of Dr. Gero designated as Android 16. That's all they need to know. Coming to a shock to the cyborgs, they didn't know that the Doctor's earlier prototypes were still active. They thought there was only the two of them left. With a bit of silence, 18 rolls her eyes that they'll be back eventually. Trunks won't escape them forever. She can tell that he is the version from their world. Her brother continues that as for Android 16, he will rue the day that he sided with these deplorable humans in the end. Hopping back to their quarters, it looks like that despicable Gero had more machines than they thought. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, they completely destroyed his lab. They're the only ones who should be left. After their leave, Trunks takes in the harsh reality that too many of these universes are being run by detestable vermin. What went so wrong in Universe 14 that causes Z-Fighters to lose this bad? A few more hours pass by. Peering over at one of the more interesting contestants, the mother of Ickle, the super strong warrior that was announced literally 15 years ago but was never born. The same one who, if has any surprise impact on the ending of the series, will just cause me to retire. But assuming that won't be the case, Ickle's mother chides an attendant that she expects nothing but the best for her child when he's finally born. Hence why she needs things done now, not tomorrow. Though listening, the Varga responds with a bit of an annoyed sigh, assuring he hears her. But inside, he knows he doesn't get paid enough for this stuff. Given her less than usual physique for a warrior, it's kind of hard to believe that someone like her is the strongest fighter in an entire universe. What happened to make such a reality? Truth is, 16 reasons that it could be anything. Although a strange power is emitting from her, he can't pinpoint its exact nature. Of course, we've already been made aware that it's her unborn child, not the woman herself that's the warrior. But he wasn't born in time for his match against 17, so he is disqualified. When a few familiar voices enter the arena. One shouts to her dad that she's so excited. A calming voice responds that he knows, and he's happy for her. A grumbly baritone rumbles that he just hopes there's a good challenge here. Those bird brains better not disappoint. Before a teenage timbre comments it against him and his dad, he'd be surprised if anyone could last 5 seconds. A shadowy figure warns that everybody should stay sharp out here. Friendly tournament or not, who knows what's already here ready to cause some trouble. Universe 16, also known as Vegito in some Brawl's universe. Goten calls out to his best friend that he's so pumped. Once they become Gotenks, he just knows they're gonna be unstoppable, causing Trunks to holler back in agreement. He wants to explore this place while they can though. Who knows what they'll find? The duo jetting off, Gohan notices someone in particular. Is that? Returning the surprise, Trunks sees his old friend too. Getting a look at him, he's much older than the one he ran into in the past, but he still knows it's actually him. This brings back some memories. The former tells his family that he'll be back in a bit. He sees an old friend that he hasn't spoken to in almost 3 decades. Speaking to the man still inside the entryway, who we already know is Vegito, Piccolo brings attention to the fact that his son from the future is also here. The fused warrior should go see him, making Vegito laugh. He's sure Trunks will be surprised to see what's become of his father, but in due time, he will go talk to him. And he can also tell that he's kept up on his training, wondering how much stronger he's gotten in comparison to the Trunks of his own universe. Landing, Gohan happily greets his old friend saying it's good to see him again, and he's grown. which is kinda bizarre, as Gohan was like 11 or 12 when they last saw each other and Trunks was 17-ish? Then again, maybe I'm the only one who stopped growing after 7th grade. My crushing insecurities aside, Trunks could say the same thing. He grew much differently than the Gohan from his world. Laughing this off, though clearly a bit embarrassed, the times of peace have really gotten him spoiled. Things have been great for the most part since the last time they saw each other. Acknowledging Android 16, Gohan states it's a pleasure to meet him again. He's sure Trunks told him what happened back where he's from. And of course he has. The robot expresses how glad his counterpart fought to protect nature, even if it meant death. Trunks takes this as an opportunity to point out the new faces in Gohan's group as well. Naturally, he recognizes Piccolo, and himself, but not the others. Who are they? Looking back towards him, the woman who is by his side is his wife Fidel. The younger girl by her is their daughter. Her name's Pan. Then, the young man next to Trunks is Goten, his younger brother. Then there's his half-sister Brawl, who likely won't be relevant in this tournament at all. Future Trunks takes this all in. The family has really grown over the years. Since Goku's been dead, he knows it's not easy being the main caretaker of things. Reminder, this Trunks only knows that Goku decided to stay dead after the defeat of Cell. He has no idea that he came back to fight Majin Buu or any of that. Continuing, he'd like him to tell him, how are his mother and father doing? How are Vegeta and Bulma? Which brings in an interesting conversation. He's sorry to say this, but just like his own dad, Vegeta's gone. Forever. It's a long story, but he no longer exists in this world or the next. Bulma has actually remarried. Like a punch to the chest, the time traveler never thought that final moment would be the final moment he would see his father. However, Gohan does have some good news. There is a person in this universe who came with him. He's not out in the open yet, but he is. But before we can finish that thought, something catches both of their attentions. Same with Vegito. He smirks at this particular key and the idea that he decided to come to this tournament. He sure brings back a lot of memories from his progenitor's experience with them. The nightmare never ends. It's Cell. Striking fear into many of our heroes. The bio-android chuckles that he bets this is a past variation of his universe. Quote, the Piccolo is a dead giveaway, though nobody else of worth has shown up. Too bad. Spotting a worthy foe. The Fiend then chortles that here's little Gohan all grown up, and Trunks is also with him. How delightful. The sons of Goku and Vegeta that delivered so many opportunities are now standing before him again. Perhaps coming here was wise after all. The chance to kill Gohan a second time and to score a third kill on Trunks would make for an excellent warm-up. A perfect way to showcase his complete power. Speaking only loud enough for Trunks to hear. Gohan apologizes to leave so soon, but he needs to be there for his family in case that monster gets any bright ideas. Leaving the time traveler to get lost in his own thoughts. Cell, the biological demon of terror, is now here. How can this be happening? Even after so many years, he's still not on his level. They're all in grave danger if Cell makes a move. Freaking Jiro! He deserves a fate worse than hell for creating so much pain and suffering across the multiverse. Trunks would kill him himself given the opportunity. To think his world, brought to the brink of destruction, is actually one of the lucky ones. How sad is that? Kicking it over to the best character of the series, Zenbu spouts to himself how wonderful it is that he gets to meet Perfect Cell, the greatest threat the Earth ever faced, after himself. He must say, it's like looking at a slightly lesser version of himself. Too bad he can never become truly perfect, unlike the Majin. But he alone needn't hog the spotlight. Buu's personal wish has been granted. The one he's been waiting for to finally show himself. The only one he could never defeat. Vegito. Though he is curious if he's even a match for him now. For now, it's time for a nap. He doesn't think there'll be any more interesting participants. Almost all the cards have been set. Now he just needs to deal everyone's hands. Spotting the most vanilla of all universes. Trunks lays eyes on Goku himself, and his father. He's surprised to see another group got here so fast, and they seem almost identical to Universe 16. Android 16 utters that this is good news. Now there are two versions of Goku to kill. He likes these odds. But that's not what Trunks was saying. He's sure he's not being serious anyway. Hopefully. However, that's not all. Universe 19 has also just been filled up. He doesn't sense much power from them, but their armor looks tough. Before peering over to the original big bad of this event. He might think it's impossible, but it's Broly. Again, wondering what the organizers could have been thinking. Bojack and Cell are bad enough, but to have that psychopath here is too much. The robot iterates that he is the legendary Super Saiyan that Trunks spoke of. His scanners simply fail to fully gauge his power. He might be the strongest one here. After knowing all those who'll be participating, it's clear as day that Trunks has no chance at actually winning. Gohan and the others of his world.
Alright guys,
He's
I'm gonna end the
sorry.
stream now.
He won't be able to revive them.
It's 2:23 a.m.
Still, his
He's
Saiyan
streaming
blood
for 3
refuses to
hours,
cave in. Hope may
32
still live
minutes.
on. He will fight as hard as
If
he
you
can
stayed
and
this
prevail
long,
to
I'd
the
say
bitter
thank
end.
you.
At the very
Shout out
least,
to
he can
Tiger
test
T
his
for the
limits
super
and find out
chats.
where he's lacking.
And I'll be streaming
While he was
tomorrow,
skeptical
so
of the
give the video a
Vargas
thumbs
at
up,
first, he
subscribe,
also
and I'll
achieved
see
his
you
dream in
guys
getting
tomorrow.
to see his friends of the past.
Have yourself a good night.
Plus, his father
Thank you
is
for
right
watching.
there.
Peace.
In a little bit, he'll go over and introduce himself. And of course, he'll also speak to Goku.